but compared to his other stuff.
And we are live!
Already? Oh,
yes!
No. Again?
Unfortunately.
Hello? I'm sure we have one viewer right now, because, like, we haven't really made a big deal about the new channel yet, so...
Yeah, I've only tweeted it out on Twitter once. And I can't actually find the link yet.
Neither can I.
Yeah.
It's a stream that no one can watch. It's just out there.
Oh no. Not a stream that nobody can watch. If a stream is watched by nobody, does it even exist?
Yes. That tree in the woods does make a noise.
Aha! It's up! It's up! We are here!
Man, I get scared every time David just starts yelling, it's up at me. Usually it doesn't bode well.
You know who else doesn't bode well?
Yo mama!
Her too.
Okay, where are we at? Oh! There's one person in the chat. Hello, Mr. His name is Mr. Person. That's hilarious. Oh! I have McDonald's! Okay, I'll give you 15. Wow, only $15? This is a lot of food for $15.
Hey, you gotta tweet it out now so all of our gorgeous audience
what the
members.
Fuck? Where's half the fries? Why is there so few fries in this box? Why would they put so few fries in the box? Man, I'm writing a complaint letter to the CEO of McDonald's, Michael Keaton. Okay, let me tweet out the link. Who are you again?
I don't know. Who are you?
Let me tweet this bitch.
What is this speech? Woo.
I almost spelled come John instead of come join.
Now that would have been a very different but equally entertaining stream.
No, John, don't do this.
I'm on my way.
Okay, where are we again? What's happening? Who are you?
So we are in the medical bay, and we're getting the resources to save the lawyer lady who got injured.
Oh yeah. Why is she a lawyer?
I don't know. Shady corporate shit.
Oh, you know what? This is actually one of my favorite sections of the game, because I remember this one being really hard and really scary.
Exactly. That's why I was repeatedly failing it last stream, and why I decided to fucking quit.
Hide under that table! Wait, so how much of the alien have you seen so far?
We've seen him on this level. We've seen it on a couple of levels.
Did you get stuck in basically just a whole, like, just this long-ass U-shaped hallway where you have to go all the way around from this middle room out while he's walking around?
Not necessarily that.
Okay, because I'm trying to figure out the order of events here, because I have a really specific favorite room in here.
So,
yeah, I like this game. It's fun. I quite enjoy... I wonder if I have a copy of this that I could play. I mean, I have my 360 one. I don't know if that one's backwards compatible, though. If there's anything I don't like about this game is I feel like they went a little overboard with the human enemies. they just seem like a little too numerous for my taste, and like there's not a ton of them, but like what little there are very, very annoying.
Absolutely, I agree. If you'll remember last time, that was where I got stuck. Last time with all the shirts was at
Thankfully, though, now that you're past that part, you can strategically force the alien to kill all of them.
Yeah, you can do that.
Like you can just throw like a noisemaker into a room full of like human enemies, and then the alien will just pop out and just kill them all because it's indestructible to them. So, you know, this is an option if you want to just mass kill all these guys. You just throw a little noise thingy.
It would be pretty cathartic. So, I hear you are a fan of the Alien franchise, are you not?
I am. I didn't really get to talk about that last time.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the Alien franchise. So,
Samuels, I've got the meds.
So, I just got the med stuff to rescue the other woman.
You see that person on the table with the hole in their chest? And then there's a blood trail leading up to a vent up above the room?
No.
Oh. In the room where you got the medical supplies? I love that they put that in, because you could have easily not included that and just like kind of let the imagination run, but I appreciate the detail of like having that room in the game to explain how this all started, and also not really calling too much attention to it other than just making sure you enter that room. Okay, stay under that table. Oh fuck.
Okay, I just murdered all the humans.
Yeah, that plan worked out great. He just sent him. The door opens and he runs in and just takes care of business.
Business. Biddiness.
His code is correct. He has all his ones and zeros in the right place.
Hey, welcome all followers. Welcome Kian. Welcome Potato Sand Wizard. Welcome Iron Ninja. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for joining, Scrubs, even though you can't participate today.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of a headache, so it's just us.
Thank you for joining, Cyborg Diego. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel when you can. This is where all streams going forward will go through this channel. Oh! That was a bug. Yeah, that was a little bit of bug. Sometimes
What happened?
So the alien walked right by where the human character was hiding, and then the human character got up and tried to flee around the alien, and then the alien saw him. So like, the alien was hiding like right in front of him, like they were literally touching, and they couldn't. And they couldn't see each other.
I mean, now that you got the medical supplies, it's probably pretty easy to fucking book it out of here.
I'm just gonna... Okay, so this is...
You know where to go?
So this is where I died last time, in this area, was after... I had no problem getting the medical supplies, but I would always die trying to head back. So I'm
You're not supposed to go back that way. You have to go a different way. There's a bunch of locked doors on the other end of that big medical section.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do something to unlock those doors. I think it's a computer terminal somewhere in that section. It might be in the room where you get the medical supplies. You may unlock the doors on the section. So if you haven't touched that computer and done that, you should go do that now.
Okay. See, this is my problem. I don't know how video games work. So I got stuck on that after I got the medical supplies like 5 times. And then I was just...
hide under that desk, just cower in fear. There's a lot of cowering in this game.
Sounds like my life.
Okay. Let me catch up with the chat and answer some questions.
Okay.
How we doing? I'm okay. I'm having dinner because, like, just by nature of my sleep schedule, I only really get the opportunity to eat during the day on Fridays when David's doing these streams. I apologize for eating during them, but like, it's my only option. Either that or wait another
Ah!
4 or 5 hours.
I'm doing
Did you
fine.
get killed?
No,
Okay.
I just walked into a room where there was a live human enemy, but she didn't see me.
Okay. Lots of dabs.
Dab. Dab squad.
How are the enemies belligerent and numerous?
Ah!
Imagine if one of them had a flamethrower. Hey Xavier, I have a question. Just finished all of Punisher Max, and wanted to know how you felt about the Jason Aaron portion. I don't know how to feel. Pretty much sure I didn't like it too much.
It didn't have to end this way.
You know, honestly,
Someone just
I
went too
was
far.
okay with it. Like, it's never gonna match up to the Garth Ennis section of the overall story, but I like how they went from like less of an episodic thing where it's just like here's a bunch of disconnected arcs that are like 5 issues each, and it was more like here's a 25 issue long like whole arc that tells one flowing story. I thought it was interesting to kind of tackle more of the motivations behind that particular version of the character. And I felt like it gave a fitting end for the Punisher Max run. And you know, I feel like the thing about Punisher Max as opposed to Punisher in this traditional Marvel universe is that by virtue of being so much more like steeped in realism and like real world logic, like the fact that he actually is born in a specific year and ages in real time in the story, like
I can do fuck
those
all in
things-
that computer on that section. Just saying.
Okay, there's no utility thing. Well, I know for sure you have to, like, can you look at your map for a second?
It's telling you to go out that way.
Alright. Well,
Oh no! The alien is coming my way. I gotta hide.
fucking, get in one of the lockers, maybe.
I'm hiding under
But,
the table.
Yeah, I think, you know, Punisher Max is not a story that could run forever, and giving it, like, a proper ending and send-off, is a fine thing to do, and I support it. And, I'm happy with the ending they gave it. Let's see. Do you have the tracker? Yes. Do you have the motion tracker, Davil?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I have a question for the people in the chat. Because it's been like 6 years since I played this game. Does the motion tracker make noise that the alien can hear, or is it purely just a visual thing for you? Is it just detective mode? Because I know it makes a bleepity bloopity noise. Does the alien hear that noise and go, oh,
Oh
fuck
no!
that
It
guy."
got me!
Uh-oh. Oh!
Woo.
At least you saved after you got the stuff.
Yeah.
Haha! Murder is fun when I use a space alien for it.
What?
You should fucking not go that way.
So actually, I still need to go. I need to go this way. I need to return the way I came to deliver the medical supplies.
But the way you came, you fell in from a hole in the ceiling.
Maybe.
Oh, you can't get back up there.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
If I could, like... this is a problem of doing these streams the way we do them, is because I cannot see your screen in real time, and I cannot instruct you on, like, navigation. But I swear to you, this area, you cannot go back the way you came because you entered through a hole in a vent that was, like, in the ceiling, and you do not have a jump or climb mechanic that will allow you to get back into that vent. You can only go forward through that main section that you were at. That hallway where you were killed by the alien, all you have to do is turn around and go the opposite way of where he was standing. Hey Xavier, will you ever do a Spider-Man 2099 cosplay thing? The future suit, not the black one. I don't like his white and blue suit very much. I'm not really into that design. Like, it's fine, but like, I don't know. It's just like, doesn't feel as good for the character to me. So apparently the alien can hear the tracker. So, I guess use it sparingly. Cyborg Diego says, I didn't hate the ending that Jason Aaron created. I was mostly just confused at the fact that the final main villains of the story are Daredevil villains. Well, that's the thing, is that, like, Punisher Max doesn't have any comic villains, really. Like, it didn't even use Jigsaw, as far as I know. It's just, like, it wanted to make real-world villains, and those were just more realistic, real-world people. So, like, all of those people are characters that Punisher has fought. I do agree that it's a little weird to, you know, like Bullseye and Kingpin and Elektra. Like, I would have enjoyed having a big storyline with those characters, but, like, you know, maybe not making them the final ones. The only justification I can think of for it is that, like, he had killed, like, every crime boss in the United States by that point across the whole 60 issues. Like, he had just, like taken such a huge chunk out of organized crime single-handedly that there was, like, it was, like, comical almost. So, like, you gotta end the story on a big note, so why not actually have the kingpin of crime? Like, the guy who's, like, the guy in charge of everything. The top guy, you know? I feel like I'm boring David to tears. But at the same time, you know what? Maybe this is a format that works, as I can ramble a little about comic book bullshit while he just focuses on surviving.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm focusing on surviving. I just created a noisemaker to try and kill the human, and then I just ran away.
I saw that.
Oh, woo.
Can you hear the gunshots and screaming from down the hall?
No. But I did get the music sting.
That means he's out there. He's doing his thing. His little xenomorph thingy. He's going rah, 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 with his little baby mouth inside of his big mouth.
And she's dead, so there's that.
I guess your plan worked.
Okay, so where do they want me to go? You want me to go through the ER now?
Yeah, go through that fucking vent in the floor. That's where you need to go.
Oh, okay. Oh, no.
Either that or the ER room. Is it that? No. Yeah, I think that vent in the floor leads somewhere. I really specifically remember this vent being important. I don't know why.
Let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't die in here. Okay,
How do we feel that X-Men and Fantastic Four are excluded from everything nowadays because of MCU? You know what? It's reversing. Slowly but surely, it's not happening as much anymore. Okay. I know this may sound like a silly correlation, but the fact that fucking Disney Plus has, like, all the X-Men cartoons and all the Fantastic Four cartoons, I think that's a good sign. They even have the Fantastic Four 2015 movie on Disney Plus now. That means that now they're not ashamed of that brand and characters anymore, and they're, like, willing to use them for stuff a little bit. So, like, it's slowly, I mean, you know, and then Fantastic Four and X-Men comics are
But
finally
let's be
back
honest.
again.
Let's be honest. The Fantastic Four might be part of the MCU in the future, but the X-Men won't be, at least not for a long time.
They don't know how to implement them.
Okay, I found it.
Yay! Because, like, having we've talked about this forever, is that, like, it is so hard to put them in there now after all that's been done. Because you have this pre-established universe where, like, people with powers are, like, kind of a thing, but, like, having just a random subset of society that has superpowers and has been that way forever in a universe where, like, everything historically was pretty much the same as our timeline leading up to, like, World War II. It's like, it's hard to hide the existence of those people. Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. would have mentioned that at least once.
Or if they're like a new emergence thing, the whole controversy would not be as controversial. It wouldn't be as,
Yeah.
you know...
Because, like, superhero people are, like, beloved. Like, the Avengers are, like, in-universe, a huge brand that people...
And even if there's that dumb bullshit they tried to do in Civil War to make them controversial because, gasp, sometimes people die if superhero, even if there's that, overall, you still can't make me buy that they would just uniquely hate the subset of people. If people in this universe already have superheroes in it.
Yeah.
I honestly, and that's part of my hot take and why I defend, why I think it would have been cool to see Fox's own X-Men universe if they had ever gotten around to it, which they probably wouldn't have because the Fox executives were...
They didn't know what they're doing.
Complete idiots. Like, more than most executives, they were complete idiots. But I would have liked to see that because I think, and this is just my uninformed movie opinion here, but I think they work better in their own universe, isolated from the rest of superheroes.
I will counter that with, they work when people aren't fucking fanboys for the Avengers. Like, in the Ultimate Universe, everyone hates every superhero in the Ultimate Universe, fucking regardless. The Avengers in that timeline are like, people are afraid of them and like think they're just weird government dogs that like show up to like they treat them like Big Brother coming to enforce the president's rules, you know? Like, people don't look up to them. They think Spider-Man's a mutant, and they're like, there's like anti-Spider-Man like rhetoric in the news because they think he's a mutant, not because like that enforces the whole he's a menace thing. And that all makes way more sense than in the Marvel universe where people born with powers are scary, but people who just get them randomly are fine. Hey, how long were you guys doing YouTube on this channel? I mean, he just started this channel like a week ago.
Yeah, I decided to start this channel as a place to house my live streams because it just started crowding up my main channel, and I'm like, it just wasn't too much stuff. And like, I feel like my main channel should be for, you know, big videos, and this is just, you know, a thing I'm doing for fun on the side. So it shouldn't be taking over everything else like this.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing it on this channel. And hopefully you will all subscribe, and you will get all your friends to subscribe. And even if they don't subscribe... Oh no! It's one of the bad droids. And he's dancing! Do you see that?
The androids.
He was
What?
dancing!
I didn't see where.
Look! Right there!
Whoa,
See?
whoa, whoa! Whoa! Why is he doing the robot? I didn't know that was a thing. I played this game like 3 times.
He's a dancing boy.
Hey guys, congratulations on passing 10 subscribers.
Thanks.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude, it has been so long since I've been on a channel this small. I still remember back in high school, like 5 years ago, where I was super jealous of our friend who had 50 subscribers, and I was like, man, I'll never be as popular as him.
Okay, so he's distracted, so I gotta do this quick.
Remember, kids, the key to success is not giving up.
And
just
Robot Man!
Trying to work through all the crying.
No! 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 He's got me!
The robot?
He sees me!
When you're running around, you're gonna alert the alien.
Well,
He's coming for you.
I know, but I don't have a choice. He's following me.
Run and hide in a vent or something, or just like fucking cower under a table.
Ah! This is very stressful. And this is easy mode.
Oh, okay. A couple more things. Iron Ninja, what? Your cameo on my channel doesn't count. Well, I thought you had a decent. I didn't. You know what? I didn't even look at how many subs you have, Zach. I assumed that you had like at least a couple hundred. Your content's good. The Wolverine Max comic is in the Punisher Max universe, and they were gonna cross over, but then there just wasn't enough interest in continuing Wolverine Max. Wolverine Max was really cool. It's the only Wolverine comic that's R-rated, like Logan. And, he doesn't have the adamantium bones in that. It's just the claws. He has the healing factor, but the rest of his bones are all normal. That one has a weird ending where he finds out his past and then decides to just get his he just goes and lays his arms down on a train track, and it runs over his arms and cuts them off. And then he's like, when they grow back, they won't have the claws anymore, so I can't hurt anymore. And it was really depressing, but it was cool. You should read it.
Oh no! The alien and the android are here. This is not good. This is not good. Not good. Not good. No, 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 no! He's got me! No! I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
He's not supposed to be a big, cuddly friend that you love.
I know, I just hate him. He's a meanie. He's a big meanie head. He's a big meanie head. I don't like him.
He's a poopy face. I don't like him.
I love the goo that falls out of the vent like that. That's cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't fucking stand under that one.
Why not?
That's just a sign that one's just booby trapped. Fuck that one.
Booby.
Yeah, it is weird that they were gonna try and have a crossover with Wolverine and whatever. Cause like, you know what? I think that's another thing is the fact that the crossover never happened and they just kind of vaguely mentioned Punisher means that it's not really in the same universe as Punisher Max. Maybe whoever was in charge was like, you know what? We're ruining what's good about Punisher Max by having fucking Wolverine there with his superhero powers. Like, just ignore that.
So
I
question.
do remember here's a cool thing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does a flashbang or a smoke bomb do anything against the androids?
I think the flashbang might. You can. I wonder if you can use an EMP mine on him.
That might be a decent option. Let's try that.
He's a robot. It's an EMP, right?
Yeah,
that should work.
Let's try it. Let's see how that works.
I think the stun baton is also specifically made to fuck up the robots too.
That never worked for me when I tried it. Huh. Let me check the chat. How are y'all doing in the chat?
I have not played The Last of Us 2, so don't talk about it much. I haven't played. I know pretty much everything that happens in it, but still, for the very the maybe 3% that I don't know, I don't want that spoiled.
And I haven't played. I've only played like 2 hours of the first one, and I'm. It's just not my type of game. It doesn't like The Last of Us and those sort of Naughty Dog adventure games. They feel too much like interactive movies, and they don't feel enough like video games to me.
I would say that's the biggest criticism against them, even from people who do traditionally play a lot more video games. Is that there's so much focus on being cinematic that it almost just doesn't feel like they even want to make a video game. It feels like they want to make a big Hollywood blockbuster movie.
I was saying this last time with William about the limited time that I also played Death Stranding, and I felt that game, while it was just as cinematic, it was more of a game to me.
Well, I think that's because the cutscenes may be fucking horrendously long, but then the gameplay actual segment is more of a game for sure. The gameplay loop is just more creative and free and open.
But also the way they...
Those 20 or 30 minute cutscenes are broken up by 8 hours of gameplay.
Let's try this. Hopefully this works. Yes! Yes! I EMP'd the robot.
Fuck you, Mr. Robot. Yeah, take that. Why don't you go star in another pedophile's biopic on Queen?
Yes, I killed it!
I hope the fucking hammering of his face to death didn't, make too much noise.
I hope not.
I did say robot. That's how I say that word.
Mr. Robot?
Mm-hmm. I actually started watching that with Anna recently. I was like, hey, you want to watch Mr. Robot? And now she can't say it the correct way either. There's so many shows that she just, because of the way I talk, she can no longer say the title properly. Breaking Bad is Breaking Bald. For fun.
Anybody who is friends with Xavier knows this very well.
When we were watching the Watchmen show, she called it Watch Peopleman.
This is just a thing.
I didn't even come up with that one. That's what she started calling it, because she's just so used to my busted speech pattern that she just started, naturally copying.
Also, this is how we got to, Davil and Xavil, because Anna did that.
Yeah. How is my mother? Has she recovered from the table?
I went under one of the leaky.
Dude, that was 3 years
things.
ago. We're fine. We're fine.
Iron Ninja says each Naughty Dog game since Uncharted has gotten more and more cinematic, and Uncharted 1 is much more of a game than Uncharted 4. Now that's a hot take.
Definitely.
That's a hot take.
I agree with that. That's correct, though. There's way more video game in Uncharted 1.
Mm-hmm. And I think that the struggle for a video game that wants to be what Uncharted and what Uncharted and what Death Stranding and what The Last of Us want to do is that you have to figure out how to be a game while how to tell a story through the game. And
Yeah.
my problem with something like that is that it feels like it's a really long movie with a lot of padding that's interrupted by you doing things. You just having very normal, very standard, third-person action combat, which is fun. It's not bad. That
is exactly the problem, and you've nailed it. Is that it feels like the story is only progressing in the elongated cutscenes, and then, in like I would say a typical Naughty Dog game, once the gameplay starts, that's essentially just filler for the next cutscene.
I mean, well, it's the same problem that BioShock had, if you think about it, because BioShock has a really good story, but at the same time, the gameplay part of it doesn't really. It kind of it's clunky, and it introduces some dissonance with the story elements of it, and that's the problem. Is that you need to find out how to unite those elements together, and I think that Death Stranding does a much better effort of doing that than a Naughty Dog game.
So what I'm thinking about for Naughty Dog games is they use the gameplay part to like kind of put in character development and little like character interactions. Like the main story is all just the cutscenes, which you can just look those up on YouTube and get pretty much the same experience as playing those, because all the shit in between is like inconsequential almost, save for just little cutesy fun moments where like, oh, Joel and Ellie talk about ice cream trucks, or oh, they see a giraffe walking around. That's the gameplay stuff, and that doesn't progress anything. It helps you get a little bit more attached to the characters, but the story itself it does feel like filler because there's nothing actually progressing except you're walking to the next cutscene. What they need to do is work on having the story progress through the things happening in the gameplay so that it doesn't feel like two different things happening. Because there's like the gameplay story, which is just shooting and killing kind of inconsequentially, just walking from point A to point B and murdering everything along the way. And then there's, the cutscenes, which are just this, like, really well-directed, well-acted, depressing animated movie about a zombie apocalypse. And you're right, there is a dissonance between those two. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. I think the Batman Arkham games are not Arkham Knight, but, like, Asylum and City, I think they both did a really good job of progressing the story through gameplay, because, like, in the middle of gameplay, Batman will discover something, and then we'll start investigating it in the gameplay. It doesn't stop and have a cutscene of him investigating. Like, they let you do that.
Well, I think
they let you do the detective stuff that progresses you.
I'll tell you what the gold standard is. One of the gold standards is the Half-Life series, from what I've played.
Because there's no cutscenes. There's not a single cutscene at all.
Yeah. And that means that the entirety of the story is told as you're playing the game, and then you can experience the game and the world while you're playing. They're not two separate things. And
it doesn't stop you and have you watch Gordon learn something. You're still in his mind, in his body, watching through his eyes as the story is conveyed to him, and you never leave that perspective. You're never not playing as him.
Mm-hmm. And I will say there's an example of this that was particularly egregious, that was mentioned in a review I watched of it, of The Last of Us. So do you care? How much do you care about spoilers, Xavier?
I guess not much. Maybe try not to be too crazy about it.
It's one very specific example, and I will limit it to that. It was an example. I'm stealing this directly from a video that talked about it, which was there's in one scene, as when you're playing as one character, you have to kill a dog, And then in another scene, they reveal that Gasp, they like. Oh no, not the alien. Oh, this is scripted. I'm gonna survive.
Get down there.
Okay, so
This is a cool cutscene. He looks really good. I love the alien's design. He looks beautiful.
Yeah, he's definitely better than in Aliens: Colonial Marines. This is very dramatic. Where do I go?
Yeah, because they tried to booby-trap this room and they used you as bait. So all the other human characters who were on your side, go up the ladder in the middle. You see it? It was on the big pillar in the middle of the room. There's a ladder.
Why, though? I don't want to climb the ladder. It's next to the fire, which means it's going to be hot. I'm going to burn myself.
Potato Sand Wizard, don't you dare praise Colonial Marines, or I will fight you. I will track you down. Keep climbing the ladder.
Ah! Come on. Oh no.
Did this Uncharted style sliming jumping sequence.
I hope she did her pull-ups. She did.
I can do a pull-up.
I'm just saying,
I
I
feel
hope.
bad for people who can't do one pull-up.
I just hope she did her upper body workouts, because otherwise, I hope she didn't skip upper body day.
So anyway, you were talking about a specific example from
Okay, so
Last
from
of Us 2.
Last of Us 2, there's a dog that you kill in one scene as one character, and then as another, you have to kill. You reveal that Gasp, they liked the dog, and then it's like.
Oh,
it's
the
like,
dog used to be nice and played fetch and was a puppy.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem that he says with it is that you had been, in the rest of the game, dogs are really annoying enemies that, like, will make a lot of noise and reveal your position. So, like, it's sort of a case of dissonance between what the story is trying to tell you and you know, what the gameplay is teaching you.
Yeah, because the gameplay is teaching you to hate the dogs. And, like, the story is trying to make you feel sorry for them. And those are just two different conflicting things. So, like, the gameplay is training you to disagree with the story. It's making this, it's, like, undermining what's happening in the story.
That's the problem.
I totally agree. Also, Plastic People Productions in chat says, "Hey Xavier, you probably don't remember me, but I was going to animate a skit at the end of the... I was going to animate the skit at the end of the Ben Miles cosplay video, but in Lego. And I wanted to tell you I'm going to start working on it again soon." That's cool. I would like to see that still. I mean, obviously you don't have any obligation to make it, but, like, it's cool, and I'm interested. So, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
I actually found the original storyboards for that the other day.
Nice.
I actually storyboarded out that scene. I needed to plan where I was going to stand and how I was going to film it in order to, like, make it work. And I actually do still have those laying around. I think I should, like, put them on Patreon or something.
Remind me what that was?
At the end of my... Because I made the Scarlet Spider and Miles Morales costumes in, like, one video.
Yeah?
Because they're both kind of easy. So I did this sketch at the end where there was, like, more than one of me in different Spider-Man costumes all in the same room arguing. And
yeah, with the chicken wings.
Yeah.
I remember, because I had to film that. I helped you film that.
Yeah. I mean, you've helped me film pretty much all the most memorable live-action stuff.
Yeah. So
on the channel.
You know the rule. If there's a memorable live-action bit in one of your sketches, I was the one holding the camera.
David, yeah, David was most likely behind the camera.
And if it wasn't me, it was Josh.
It's just not as fun filming that stuff without help.
Yeah, true.
That's why I've probably been doing so much less of that stuff in videos lately, is because I have no one to help me with it. And, like, I specifically kind of schedule it and plan it around having people to, like, back it up. You know?
Is he insane?
So, once summer starts to, like, really take form, and, you know, you guys can actually, like, leave your houses again, maybe we could work on some more stuff like that.
Yeah, this...
Should be fine. Well, I'm sure as hell not making new best friends with one of those things.
Yeah, this is also why we haven't had any new couch potatoes for a while.
Thanks, Quarantine. You've ruined both of our lives for the past year.
Yeah, for many reasons.
Do I sound quiet in the stream? Are people having a hard time hearing me?
I can hear you just fine, but how are the guy... Let's ask everybody else.
Anna said I sound quiet.
Okay.
The Plastic People production says the title for the stream should have been Davil and Xavil play Alien Isolation in Isolation.
Basically.
Maybe it's just because I'm a little bit far from my microphone because I didn't want to be eating directly into the mic like an
It's
asshole.
possible.
If you want, I can get a little closer to it so you can hear the gnashing of my gnarl.
Like this is what I want.
Oh god.
Is this what you want? You want to try to feedback right in the microphone? Fuck.
I'm pretty force sensitive to that sort of thing. Oh god, I'm dead. Oh wait, I'm not, am I? That was really close. I almost
he doesn't
died.
have eyes. Man, this alien's peripheral vision sucks. I guess that's what happens when you have a weird skin dome growing over your eyelids.
This is also because it's on easy mode because I'm bad at video games.
You know, he has a like a full skull with eye holes in it, but like there's just a layer of skin over the eyes, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Like the alien skeleton does have eye sockets, and you can see them when like it's like specific shots are zoomed in real close, and you can kind of see through the dome on its head. But like, we don't know what its eyes look like, really. We just know that it does probably have them.
It's also possibly a vestigial feature.
Perhaps. It could be just something it picked up from humans, because, like, it takes on, like, traits and, like, kind of bodily, kind of formatting from whatever it, like, you know, grew inside of. That's why in Alien 3, it, like, when it uses a dog as the host, it turns, like, different than, a typical, like, the usual xenomorph. So, maybe the skull thing is just because it was, like, growing inside a person? Hey, Plastic People production, it's not Optimus Prime, it's Megatron's nethers, okay? It's Megatron. Get it right.
What about Megatron's nethers?
Anna was super sleep deprived. I told you this story on the stream before. Anna was super sleep deprived and, like, had been awake for, like, something like 30 hours and just was, like, not thinking properly. And then she just started ranting about why... Because we were, like, watching Transformers or something. I'm like, how do you think Transformers reproduce? Do you think they have sex like people, or do they just, like, build each other? And then she's like, she started getting angry at the idea of Megatron having a functional penis. Like, she was like, it just doesn't make sense.
Is it like
Megatron can't have a wee-wee. It doesn't work. He's a robot. It would be all square and metal. And she was so tired, and she started crying over this because she was so upset by Megatron's penis that I was like, okay, you're too sleep deprived. You go to bed. And then she woke up the next morning, and I asked her about it, and she had no memory of it at all. And this has happened twice in the past 2 months. This same conversation about Megatron's dick. And anyway, that's the person I want to spend the rest of my life with.
I mean, you do you. Listen. I have no room to judge. The last person that I was flirting with online, do you know how we flirted with each other?
How?
We sent to each other memes about how the police are terrible.
You fucking SJW.
Listen, it's a living. I mean, that's what I'm.
He takes off his fedora and looks at the camera. He's got a man bun. And then you slowly start eating something with a high soy concentration as you're saying it. It's a living.
I think you're
I like the idea of someone being just a liberal because it's it's just a well-paying job. Like, they don't actually believe any of that stuff. It's just they get paid to do it, so that they just it's like some guy who's just like completely apolitical. Like, he has no opinion on any of this, but he's like checking a script every once in a while. And he's like, okay, all right, yeah. Defund the police! And then he looks back at the script and goes, okay, yeah, that was right, yeah. Alright, yeah. So, yeah, but police bad!
Well, we already know that the reverse already exists. We know that there are people...
That's true.
There are a bunch of people in the news who are, like, right-wing reactionaries on YouTube, or, like, for example, there was an article that I saw on another website about, there's, like, Fox News, but, like, even more biased towards Donald Trump, called OAN, and, like, a bunch of their reporters are liberals, but they're told to be, they're told by management to do the conservative thing, so we know that there are a lot of people who genuinely actually do this. Either because...
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It's either, you know, you gotta make a living, you know? Journalism is
do it a different way, man.
But there's I remember there was a video by a YouTuber that you don't watch called PhilosophyTube, who said that regularly, whenever there's like a shooting or something like that, there are right-wing YouTubers who will, like, DM him and be like, oh my god, I feel so bad, like, what happened? I did so much to damage things, but, like, they can't come out and publicly, you know, feel bad about these things because
they have to keep it in private that they don't agree with the things that they're saying.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have a living anymore if they were public about their opinions. So we know that literally happens. It just happens on the conservative side of things.
Well, if that's the case, I don't think it's out of the question that could happen on the liberal side.
Oh, absolutely. It's called being an actor in Hollywood. Ew!
You get paid to say liberal things you don't believe in. God damn, dude. You just destroyed so many celebrities. Hey guys, you want to hear the sound of progress? You hear that? Yeah. That's 2 fidget spinners at once. Hell yeah.
Now that's the communist agenda.
This is what Stalin wanted. 2 fidget spinners per person.
Hey, you see this map right here that's all the little yellow lines? I wish that were the public transportation map of any major U.S. city.
Just build us those kick-ass super rails. I could go to Florida for like $80 and it would take 4 hours.
I mean, that's literally what they have in Europe, and it's like awesome and good.
But the airline industry will take like a 4% hit, I bet.
Well, also, Big Car doesn't like it either. Like, literally, there were, like, in major U.S. cities, there used, you know, like, L.A., there used to be, like, big public transportation systems. Yeah. But then they all just tore them down because of GM.
Oh.
Oh.
You mean Godzilla Mendoza?
Yes, exactly.
Well, I don't remember doing that.
Well, I'm sorry. You have to.
I'm sorry, everyone. I don't even remember doing that.
I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this.
Do you think I could get away with just changing my channel to just GM and like taking out the Godzilla Mendoza?
I don't know. That might be a bit tricky.
As you're building a brand in the future, because like I never thought this would get to the point that it did, so I just picked a name that was like a joke that I wasn't like super attached to, and now that name is a brand. That name is like famous now, and like I don't necessarily want to have that be the name of that forever. I would be okay with it just being GM.
I think you could do that. I could see you doing that.
Okay. Maybe I'll make that like a goal, is if I hit 300,000 subscribers, I'll change the name.
I could see you doing that.
I remember I didn't monetize the channel until I hit 5,000 subs, because I never thought it would go that high. And I was like, well, I don't think I should be making money off of this, and it's like a lot of people are watching it. And then, like, my mom put it into perspective, is like, do you know how many fucking people 5,000 people is? Could you imagine all of them just in one room?
What a nerd. Your mom is a nerd.
And now I can't get any of those people to watch a video if it's not about Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you.
Actually, views have just been down in general. People aren't watching shit anymore. Everyone's like... I think everyone's just Netflix streaming right now during quarantine, because, like... I think the explanation for it, at least in my mind, for why... Because you'd think quarantine would cause YouTube views to go up because everyone's bored, right? But I think YouTube works better as, like, small, bite-sized content, and, like, isn't necessarily as binge-worthy as other stuff. So, like, the YouTube model works better for, like, people who are, you know, on their lunch break at work and need something to watch. But when they're stuck at home for 40 hours in a row before the next time they can leave, like, they're probably not going to marathon YouTube videos because those are, like, bite-sized. It's like 10-minute chunks. They want to watch something bigger. So I feel like streaming for, like, Hulu and Netflix and all them's has probably increased like crazy while YouTube has gone down. That's my theory on it. I don't know concrete numbers to know if any of what I'm saying is backed up, but that's my assumption, because like other YouTubers have been saying they've kind of been taking a little bit of a hit on their numbers since this all started.
Well, it might also be that YouTube is a bad platform.
True.
I feel bad about activating this robot man because he's gonna kill me.
No. He's not a bad robot. He's gonna actually like help you with something.
I need a compression cylinder. Components warehouse. Row 1, stack B.
He's been programmed to be a good guy.
Just keep the noise down, okay?
Yeah, just let it... Did you put subtitles on for the game, by the
No.
way?
No.
Why? Why would you not? What's wrong with you? Hey, Xavier, are there any games you're excited for? Resident Evil 8 and, yeah, Resident Evil 8. I only really, like, get excited for horror games, and, like, not too many of those come out every year. If they announced an Evil Within 3, or, like, another Silent Hill, I would be over the moon, but right now all I have is the Resident Evil series to keep me aloft.
Your compression cylinder will be found.
Because, like, you know, horror is still a very niche genre, and, like, kind of will always be that way. Like, it's not as, like, big and mainstream and over-reported and over-covered as, like, other stuff. Because, like, you know, it's hard to be excited for a lot of AAA games because, like, as soon as it starts getting, like, announced or talked about, everyone will talk about it and shove it in your face as much as possible. Both, like, you know, horror games, those kind of fly under the radar a little bit. You could actually miss a lot of the marketing stuff for those unless you specifically seek it out. So, like, I don't get spoiled on those as much, because that's another thing is, like, games like Spider-Man and, like, Grand Theft Auto and, like, whatever, those get talked about so much that they're kind of like, you know, you get them spoiled early, or, like, you just get sick of hearing about them. But, like, you know, no one was really talking about Resident Evil 7 up until it was coming out, except for, like, the diehards who were, like, analyzing every pixel on the screen in the fucking demo to try and figure out why there's a ghost in the game. That was fun, but that was, like, again, very niche and small. I feel more comfortable in smaller social gatherings than big parties with 10,000 people. You know what I mean? Hey, Xavier, do you watch Star Trek? I watched the first series of Back to Front with the Kirk and Spock a little while ago, a couple years ago. And then bits and pieces of all the other shows as David keeps forcing me at gunpoint to watch them every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Because he's a scrub.
No, that guy has a headache. He's not here to...
Well, Scrub actually watches Star Trek more than you, so...
Iron Ninja says, the same could be said for a lot of indie games that get way too popular too fast, like Undertale and Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, like, Five Nights at Freddy's was really fun in, like, 2014 to, like, maybe 2016 really early, when it was just kind of a thing that, like, only a couple people were really, like, super into, and then it got so huge and so mainstream that it got kind of overexposed, and it was, like,
here's a question.
Everywhere, and then the fandom got, like, too big and started getting really weird and obnoxious.
Do you think that ever happened to games like Soma or, like, Amnesia?
What about Soma and Amnesia?
Do you think it ever happened to that? Like, the whole... Did that ever get overexposed like that?
Games like that, no. Like, sure,
because I remember there was a lot of... That. I remember that... Soma less so, but I remember there were a lot of people doing the whole I'm scared on YouTube thing for... back when Amnesia first came out.
That's true. There's some... Every once in a while, a game turns into, like, the popular game to just react to, and Amnesia was kind of, like, a first, because it was a PC indie horror game,
yeah.
And it was kind of, like, the first of its kind, and, like, an indie game that seemed like it could be AAA, just because they did such a good job with it.
Mm-hmm. It's
so,
also
like,
that game is also on my mind because I started replaying it recently.
I still prefer Soma.
Yeah, I have both. I haven't finished either, but I've gotten further into Yeah, Amnesia.
Man, Soma has such a fucking amazing story. I don't think any video game has got me as shook as that one did. Like, it really resonates, and it plays with you a lot, and I can't recommend it enough. If you want a game that'll fuck you up for a long time, like, sometimes I'll just think about that game. I haven't played it since, like, 2015 or whatever when it came out, and I still just randomly think about it. I'm just like, man, remember that scene in Soma? Just because there's just, like, so much there to unpack, and, like, it's so much more ambitious than most games of its caliber are. But, like, not in, like, an annoying way. Like, it actually pulled off all the things that it was attempting to pull off, and it's not pretentious. Because it didn't market itself as being this super deep, crazy story. It was just like, here's a little horror game. And then the fact that it's, like, this mind-bending journey that, like, asks a lot of really heavy philosophical questions and, like, has a lot of twists and turns that make your fucking stomachs just sink, are, like, that's just a surprise, you know? I appreciate that, because that's another thing that is kind of turning me off The Last of Us 2, is how, whether it was intentional by Naughty Dog or not, that game got marketed as, oh, it's so deep, oh, this game's so mature and thought-provoking, ugh. And it just started to seem like a little, like, masturbatory after a while. I don't like when you market yourself as smart and like, you should just let the game speak for itself. You should just market it as, here's a horror game.
Oh God, I think I might not like Soma then, because if
Someone must know what's going on.
if you're
well, no, it's like Soma reminds me of, like, I would say it's just like pure sci-fi in a sense that wow, that guy just does not notice you.
Kids are doing right now.
Because you say it's philosophical, and I feel like I might.
But that's like not the whole experience, though. That's just a really nice thing that's also in it.
Yeah, I also tried to play it, and I just wasn't a big fan of the whole walking simulator sort of aspect of it.
Yeah, I will say that that's a game that kind of suffers from the fact that, like, it didn't need to be a horror game necessarily. It almost didn't need to be a game. It could have been, like, a really fucking awesome book. Like, it didn't need to be a movie or, like, a comic book. It could have just been a novel, and it would have been awesome. Like, the fact that it's also an interactive horror game, like, where you kind of walk around and do puzzles and stuff, like, it's probably one of the least... It is weird, because I do like playing that game. I do think the gameplay is fun, you know, as basic as it is. But, like, it's probably the weakest aspect of it, is the horror game part. Which is why later on they patched in a new difficulty setting where the enemies just don't spawn except for cutscenes. Well, I mean, you know, scripted sequences. So, like, the monsters are an element in the story, but, like, you can actually just walk through the whole game and not encounter it. And that makes the game where you aren't necessarily shaking hands all the time. Oh, the stream's blinking. It's flickering. Is everything okay over there?
Everything's okay with me.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's out. It's out.
Oh, Gad. No, anything but Josh Gad. It seems fine now.
Oh, it's back.
Okay, let's keep going.
Hey.
Why do you eat like that?
I'm sorry, I need food, I need sustenance, I'm gonna die.
I'm so sorry. For you.
I sent you a clear directive not to land on station.
I told you we didn't hear your message. We understood you would be...
Hey,
Identify yourself.
Ripley.
We've been streaming for 69 minutes.
Nice. I'm just saying, last week we got through the whole stream without interruption, and this week I would also like to get through the stream with no interruption. Key word is, I would like.
What is it?
I don't know.
I don't know if we
Something
actually
brought here
will.
By Marlowe, the captain of the Anisadora.
The ship that found the flight.
You know what? I wasn't the biggest
Is
fan
there
of this
anywhere
game's
safe
story.
left on this station? That creature's running around, and
How
the suits
so?
and synthetics are less than friendly.
God.
I don't know. It just seemed like
Ripley. Taylor needs
I
attention.
just wasn't as invested in
Medical's a
it
no-go.
because like all the other
Take her
characters
there.
you interact with are just like
have a
off
basic
safe,
life support
doing
unit
their own
back at
thing,
HQ.
and just sitting at
Then
rooms
let's
telling
go.
you where to go.
Mm-hmm.
We need
And,
the
like,
transit to get to HQ.
You as a
if it's
character
down.
feel like you don't
Transit
have much
control's
agency
upstairs.
because you're just listening to a bunch of
Samuel
people
says you're
telling
an
you what to do
engineer.
for the majority
You'll
of
make
it.
yourself
Yeah,
useful.
that's true. I get
Um,
that.
You screwed up the
It
track.
feels a little fetch questy, and
Yeah,
like
right. We'll talk about that
I
later,
feel like
right?
the other
You protect
characters
them while I'm
aren't
gone.
really.
Understood.
I don't know. They're just
Ricardo, get
they're
a
not
lock
very
on the radio
interesting
so
or
we can
deep.
stay in touch.
Like, what do we know about this fucking glasses lady? Is she was scared of going on this mission,
And she's
And
a
then
lawyer.
and then she got injured immediately, and then spends like the whole rest of this game pretty much just unconscious, except for one scene where she wakes up. So like, I don't. I feel like she's just a means to an end for like, okay, you need to go to the medical. Like, she's an excuse for more walking around fighting the alien. Because if you didn't have a friend who was injured, you would have no reason to go to the medical section of this spaceship. And then that robot guy, like, yeah, he just doesn't really do anything. And he's just boring. Like, he's not Bishop. They wanted a Bishop-style character, but, like, he doesn't have the charisma of Lance Henriksen as that character, or the conflict of, like, Ripley doesn't trust androids because of what happened in the first movie, so, like, this one has to win her over. Like, there was character drama going on here. Amanda and this guy, whose name I can't even remember, they barely talk about, like, anything. And then, you know, when the story concludes for, you know, one of those characters, it just doesn't have any kind of, like, emotional resonance with me because I didn't get any sense that they had any kind of connection or relationship, you know?
I get that. That makes sense to me.
Like, this game's story feels like a lot of excuses to go into rooms with the alien. And granted, those encounters with the alien are all really fun. I really like fucking hiding and cowering from that thing.
Bombastic
I've never played a
AR
video
said
game.
something really funny, which is, I wonder why the alien doesn't kill all those people while the player is off doing stuff.
They explain that they have, like, a special section of the ship that's been barricaded off like fucking crazy and has, like, all the vents are plugged up with, like, you know, like, covers so he can't get through. It's, like, it's flimsy, and then also there's just, like, 30 people stacked up in one little, like, room, and they're like, well, you wouldn't come in here because, like, one of us would get him eventually. It's not, like, it's not his style to just, like, you know, fucking wolf in the hen house kind of thing. Like, the alien picks you off one by one.
Hen in the wolf house?
Yeah, and it shows up and it's like, and then they're like, oh shit!
Shit, he's gonna peck us all to death!
Holy fuck, look out, he's coming for us!
Someone shut everything off.
I'm done eating dinner.
Well, good for you!
Hello? I know someone's in here.
You know, I was really craving for McDonald's, but like, specifically good McDonald's. On like the off days where they actually make really good food, which is like not very often. So today I got like not very good McDonald's. It tasted kind of cold and cardboardy. It makes me sad. McDonald's has never tasted as good as it did when I was in the Philippines. Everything there tastes better.
I mean,
Everything.
I've had the same experience with McDonald's in Europe. Although I will tell you, Taco Bell in Europe tastes like shit.
Well, it tastes. Taco Bell tastes like shit here.
But it's like somehow worse.
like Taco Bell is like eating diarrhea, so you can have more diarrhea.
Yeah, but McDonald's is actually pretty good.
McDonald's has its off days over here, but like I ate it like 4 or 5 times in the Philippines while I was there for a couple weeks, and like every time it tasted good. They did not have an off time.
Yeah, I just remember being.
Like,
I just remember, being in. I just remember visiting Italy about 10 years ago, and I just ate McDonald's, and I was like, What is this? This is heaven.
Man, I want to go back to the Philippines soon. It's really cool out there.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I wanna go abroad again too.
I want to go over there to meet abroad.
That's not what I meant.
Hello, Xavier. Are you gonna review Resident Evil 8? Honestly, I'd like to review all of them at some point because I fucking love that series, and I feel like that would be just something really fun to do. Is just go back through and like play the whole series like one at a time. Like I would kind of do it as another retrospective after I finish Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is on hiatus until the views on the previous parts get up, so remember that if you want those to continue. But yeah, like I adore the Resident Evil games, and it's like not a series that I just got into or anything. I've been playing those since I was like a little kid, and like I would say only just recently have I started getting good at playing those games. But there's a lot of passion and nostalgia there for those, and I think that I could talk about those games at length for quite a while and not get bored and have like interesting things to say about them. So like if I were to do another retrospective of like a big long game series after Mortal Kombat, it'll be that.
We need the transit
So
to get to HQ,
hopefully
but
at some point I'll get
transit
around to
controls
that. But like I've got a lot of other stuff to do in the
Samuel
meantime.
says you're an engineer. Go make yourself
I've got a lot of those patron requested videos to get through. And once I've gotten through the current list of those, I think I'm gonna close those forever because it's just too stressful having to make videos based on a topic someone else picked.
Well, also, it's making a video that's likely only going to appeal to like one person.
That person, yeah, it's like tailor made for that person. Because like,
you need to make money, and sometimes those won't make the type of money you need to, make it sustainable to do those.
Yes. So, like, while in the short term, someone paying for that tier on Patreon does help me out a lot, in the long term, I'm spending, like, months at a time on a video that no one's gonna watch. And that's, like, honestly kind of making it hard for me to stay passionate about videos. So I'm, like, trying not to do, like, only the patron-requested ones. I'm trying to sprinkle in other stuff that's my idea in between that I think also people would be more interested in. But the problem with that is that makes the patron request people get, like, really impatient and, like, kind of start yelling at me to get to work on it. But it's like, you gotta bear with me here, man. It's not a fun position, and that's why I'm probably not going to do any more of those after the current list is up.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Xavier, would you be interested if there's another at-home Comic-Con? I mean, I guess if there's something that I could do that would, like, if I had a good idea for it, then sure. But as of now, I prefer to have an actual Comic-Con. I could just, like, wear my medical mask underneath the Spider-Man mask, and I'll be fine.
Just need to see the family again. It's all I want.
I miss cosplaying. I miss going outside. I miss overpriced convention food where it's like they'll make you pay like $30 for like 3 chicken strips. But god damn it, those are the best tasting chicken strips you've ever put in your mouth.
A lot of trouble to secure this place. Someone must know what's going on.
Are you just doing a little jig inside of this locker? Are you just dancing?
Yeah.
What's everyone's game of the year so far? I have not played I played one game this year. I played the RE3 remake, and I wasn't very happy with it, and that's fucking it. I can't think of another game that's come out this year other than Resident Evil 3 and The Last of Us 2. Like, what else came out? Because, like, everything else keeps getting delayed. Oh, Doom Eternal came out this year? I fucking forgot. Man, that's how long quarantine feels. That feels like a game from, like, a year and a half. I did play Doom Eternal, and then while I was on the final boss, I decided to take a break for a day, and then my PlayStation 4, like, I unplugged it and moved it to a different room, and it didn't like that, so it, like, erased all my save data. So even though I was on the final boss, I have no progress in that game now. So, yeah, I don't feel like playing it again, so I'm just gonna look up the cutscene I'm gonna look up the final cutscene on YouTube. So yeah, Doom Eternal and Resident Evil 3 came out this year. What else? Is it just those that I've played?
Oh no, evil robot is killing a human man.
Ah, fuck 'em. Man, there's robots and aliens on this spaceship. This is bullshit.
I'm tired of these motherfucking robots and this motherfucking spaceship.
I didn't play Animal Crossing, because that doesn't really seem like my type of game. I played Mortal Kombat Aftermath, and I'm like just as disappointed by that as MK11. Half-Life Alyx came out this year, and I don't have a PC that's strong enough to play that, nor can I afford all the VR shit. I'm really just hoping it comes out on PSVR, because I do have that from, like, from Christmas last year. My dad got it for me. So, like, I could play it there, and, like, I just prefer playing Valve games on console anyway. I'm not a PC game guy. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just, like, to me, video games are on the couch, you know? I feel more comfortable on the couch. And keyboard and mouse makes my wrists hurt. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated came out. David, have you played that?
What?
I'm gonna move my desk. The new SpongeBob game! Did you play SpongeBob? I'm gonna change how I'm sitting so it's a little bit more comfortable and easy on my back. Oh shit, my headphones are dying. I even charged them before the stream. That's bullshit. I have not had a chance to play Invisible Hours. I'm not buying very many games lately. Like, at most, everything I'm playing is just stuff on PlayStation Now. Because there's like a ton of games on there, and thankfully my internet is good enough to support playing that without glitching too bad. So like, you know, I just pay like however much the subscription is for that per month, and then just play whatever games are on there. The Avengers game hasn't even come out yet. What's there to talk about with that, Bombastic AR? What do you want us to say about it? It's not even out yet! Exactly. What are you doing there, Davil?
I'm waiting to get around the scary robot man.
Maybe throw a noisemaker or like
I don't have the
EMP.
parts to make one, okay?
What parts do you have? If you have an EMP, you can shock him and then just walk past him.
I can't make I don't have enough parts for that either.
Ah, shit, my headphones died. I gotta plug them in. Hang on. Ugh. This is the problem with wireless headphones. Like, it's nice not having a wire and I can go anywhere in the room with them. But I hate the battery dying. It doesn't take very long to charge, though, so I could just wait like 10 minutes.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, there is an Iron Man VR game, huh? I don't like Josh Keaton for Iron Man's voice. That feels like he's a good Spider-Man. He's the best Spider-Man voice. But like, I can't see him as Iron Man. That feels weird. He sounds like a teenager trying to sound like an adult. He doesn't sound like a 40-year-old goatee man, which is funny because he probably is in his like 40s in real life. But just like that voice just doesn't work for that.
Roll.
To me. I also don't like Nolan North as Iron Man because like he's good enough that he can disappear into other roles, but as Iron Man, I just go, yeah, that's Nolan North. Like I just can't forget that he's that actor, and that just takes me out of it. I don't hear Iron Man. I hear Deadpool.
Who is Deadpool, anyways?
Man, you know what? Even though he was just doing a bad Robert Downey Jr. impression, the guy from Earth's Mightiest Heroes is probably like the best recent Iron Man voice. Just get that guy for everything.
Ah! No!
Fucking Mr. Robot, go away! Oh shit! I would go do inventory stuff when he's not right there hitting. Like, get some distance between you and him, then go heal or switch weapons or whatever. Just fucking walk away! Walk away from him, David, please! He keeps catching your hands. Now hit him with the hammer while he's stunned. Fuck.
Oh god, this is bad. I died.
The hit DC show Paw Patrol.
You mean the cop? You mean the cop show, right?
Yeah, it's about that. It's that robot police officer played by Brendan Fraser, and his friend the Invisible Man is his partner.
Yeah. Did you know that the Paw Patrol are class traitors?
Who's the fox? That's a good-ass reference. I appreciate that. Apparently season 2 just started of that, and the world is so crazy right now that I have heard no one talk about it except for, like, Alex on Twitter mentioned it. Yeah, you beat the... season 2, only one episode is out, don't worry, and I haven't seen it yet. DC Universe always releases their shit episodically 1 week at a time, so... can't spoil much. You know what? I'm okay with watching shows with hour-long episodes one at a time per week. You know what show the once-a-week format killed for me? Like, I just, like, lost all interest in it.
What?
Red vs. Blue, but that's because the episodes are 5 minutes each. And, like, the season really only works as, like, a 2-hour movie. So imagine watching a 2-hour movie, but you pause and wait for 7 days every, like, 5 to 10 minutes. It's fucking miserable.
That sounds...
do that.
Oh, man, this just sounds like Quibi.
Yeah.
Take it. I had some trouble.
I
so
just
it's gonna
can't get
take me a
into
while to
any
get
Rooster
back.
Teeth stuff anymore. Like, they used to be, like, the only thing I
Taylor
watched on
can't.
YouTube,
I
and
can
now I
catch the
just,
next
like,
car.
can't sit through any of that stuff. It's just, like, not entertaining anymore. It's like all the old people who worked at the company either left or retired or just, like, don't care anymore. And by don't care anymore, I mean, like, they're still there producing stuff, but they just look depressed and tired and overworked and burned out, and, like, they're not interested in it. And, like, if you're watching someone be completely impassionate to the project they're in, it really doesn't make it fun, you know?
Ripley, we heard voices as we left. Watch yourself. If we're gonna get everyone through this alive, there's no room for pity.
Yeah, don't watch Titans. Just ignore Titan. Just ignore it so that they'll stop making it.
You know, there's this one...
Just
You
give
know,
up on it.
I was thinking about this, and there's this really weird phenomenon that exists because of, like, streaming era TV and, like, because of, like, streaming era TV and, like, I'm being attacked, so I'm losing focus, but, like, streaming era TV and, like, also, let's see, what was the other thing? So, like, streaming era TV and, like, franchises and all that stuff is that there can be shows that absolutely nobody likes that just keep going because of sheer, like, brand name recognition and because there's, like, a disconnect between, like, however many people, like, watch it and, like, well, there's a disconnect between, like, how many people watch it and and whether or not it actually gets revived because of the whole, you know, streaming business model.
Well, yeah, because, like, people who watch it to hate on it, you know...
No. Well, I'm also saying is that because, like, as a streaming TV show, you don't have to, whether or not they actually like it is kind of irrelevant because that's not where they make their money. Whether you like that specific show, they get their money about whether
money
you're
off the subscription service.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like up to the people working on it if they want to keep continuing it.
Yeah, so there will be like, and it happens very specifically. It's not like a random show on Netflix that got popular. It'll be like a thing that's based on, like, a novel or, like, a TV adaptation of a new thing, like, you know, a continuation of an old series, or maybe, you know, the TV version of a old movie that just
what
keeps
about,
going.
13 Reasons Why. That show is, like, universally hated by everyone, and it's got 4 seasons.
But that also has a lot of viewership.
Yeah. From people who hate it, wanting to hate it more. Like, hate watching it.
I know. The internet is a strange place.
Take it.
I
had some trouble, so it's gonna take me a
heard it
while
was
to get
bad,
back.
so I wasn't curious enough to check
Taylor
it.
can't. I can catch the next car.
Your call.
Like, I don't understand why people would go into something that they know they're gonna dislike and then spend all that time and energy on it. Like, you know, if I dislike something, it's not because I went into it wanting to hate it. It's because, like, I wanted to like it and then was let down by it. Like, I was super excited for Arkham Knight. I wanted to love that game, and then I played it and was like, wow, this is garbage. I have to yell about this.
On the internet! For money!
I didn't know it was garbage and then play it anyway so I could, like, fuel my own rage and, like, validate my pre-established opinion. Even after everything I've heard of Last of Us 2, I don't hate it, nor am I, like, not looking forward to it. Like, I'm still curious to check it out. I'm gonna form my own opinion on it. Even as much as everyone else seems to be disappointed with it, I would still like to give it a shot at least.
Come on, someone will send help soon.
You know? I'm not playing it because, like, I've already decided, oh, yeah, this game's garbage. I can't wait to join in on all the fun conversations of us just trashing it.
Well, I don't know.
That, today's the day we finally seal ourselves into a habitation place.
It's another reason I didn't play Mass Effect Andromeda is because it just didn't look appealing. And I didn't want to sink that many hours of gameplay into something that didn't look fun to me. You know? Well, as other people, like, pretty much knew that it was bad, and then were like, okay, now I have to play it for 500 hours. Even though I know it's bad. Like, who has that much time of their life to waste on something they don't like?
Let's go find Sinclair. No way we should be splitting up. Safety in numbers.
Not even sure of that anymore.
What are you doing, David?
I'm waiting until these guys go past so I can go into the transit thing. Also, I'm
What, are you returning text messages? You talking to your girlfriend? Look at this cool-ass VHS filter. You know this isn't a VHS filter? They actually put some of this game's, like, footage, like, they could into, like, a tape, and then put it into a VCR, and then fuck with the tracking on it, and then screen recorded that. So it's not a filter, it's actually VHS jank. It's awesome. You're not as conversational now. What's going on? Just focused on the game?
Slightly dying.
Okay. Just trying not to put on more shirts? Is that what's going on?
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
I don't know. Whatever. Fuck you.
Ripley, we're in the Marshal Bureau. Just turn right at the top of the stairs. You can't miss it.
No welcome committee?
Just get up here. Wait's out.
Someone said that me talking to you is like the "Are you winning, son?" meme. Are you winning, son?
No.
Oh, hey, this is where you go to the fucking, the human encampment, the base where all of them are holed up.
A plan? Really? His fucking plans haven't done us much
I
good
do
so
kind of
far.
like this section, too. You know what? Gameplay-wise, I do love this game. I had a lot of fun playing through it. I think there's a lot of really memorable sections of, like, you know, getting stuck in different locations with a big monster. Like I said, the story's pretty weak, because it's just excuses to go to places where the alien can kick your ass.
Okay.
But being in those places, getting my ass kicked by the alien, were all very fun and memorable.
Ricardo?
Prepping our next move.
I'm dancing.
Look, I'm busy.
Nuance exists, kids. You can like parts of one thing, but not like other parts of it.
Strange concept.
He put it in a parking orbit around the gas.
Everyone on the internet is so extreme. It's just I either despise this thing or I love this thing unequivocally and cannot accept criticism of it.
Go talk to him.
Oh, look at this guy in this cell here. I'll bet he's really happy to be in that cell right now.
He's an importante character. But first you gotta do other stuff, I think, before you talk to him.
Why?
Because it's a video game and you have to be told to talk to him before you can talk to him. Look at the objective updated.
So do I get to talk to him now?
Yeah, I guess. There's other rooms to explore here if you want to grab items and shit before you go.
For wants to know.
Because when you talk to him, you
My
kind
name's
of
Ripley.
like
I'm
don't
with
get a
the
chance to
company.
come back. All right,
Here
okay.
for your empty box already? You got the key, I'll give you that.
I'm just walking away from... I can't open
My
this
mother was
room.
on the Nostromo when it went missing 15
Look,
years
there's
ago.
that room with the... Yeah, go in there.
It's
There's
not
also the
letting
room
me!
Where... What's her name? Is the lady with the glasses Samuels? She's in one of these rooms. You can go check on her and get like
But you
some
sure
little
as hell found
dialogue.
something
But the
else.
door was locked.
She's
I
in, like,
couldn't get
the-
in there.
Oh. I thought you could go in there. That's weird.
No, I
Just
can't.
start talking. I want to know everything.
Huh. Maybe I'm remembering out of order or something again.
Ooh, no.
You get me, Lewis?
Stop yawning or I'll kill you.
I barely slept last night, okay?
I just slept all day.
So why aren't you yawning?
Okay, enough already. Focus on what we're here for. I don't want any mistakes.
I like how...
Cyborg Diego asks, "Hey Xavier, skip Westcott joke. Ha ha ha. Okay, cool. That one's not played out or anything."
I do like how a couple of people in the comments had like this really nuanced discussion of like whether or not you like need to like agree with people to like
there you are
watch, you know, the same things.
Yeah.
And like do that sort of thing. Like watch videos whether you agree with them or not, and like that sort of thing. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't always agree with like Alex about his opinions on stuff, but I'll still watch his videos.
Oh, does Half-Life Alex?
No, High Tops man.
Who?
The guy everyone hates on Twitter.
Who?
The shoe guy.
Who?
He was in my Blade video.
Who? Was he the guy who was the public domain character?
No, the pretentious douchebag.
Oh, so the public domain character then?
No, he's self-proclaimed pretentious douchebag. He's got a T-shirt and everything.
That's good. If it's a mystery, then it's unknown. If it's unknown, then it could be valid.
You know, I've made it a point to just like block every MCU Stan account I see on Twitter ever. Unless they follow me, because in which case I'm like, I don't want to be shitty, but if they don't follow me already, I'll just block them indiscriminately. Even if I agree with their opinion, I just don't like MCU Stan Twitter, and I want to see as little of it as possible.
I mean,
So,
like, that's fine. I mean, we all spend way too much time on the hell site known as Twitter, so, like, you know...
I try to make the experience a little bit more palatable, because I'm tired of seeing them cancel Jeremy Renner every fucking weekend for something else.
We
or,
already...
like,
I mean,
being
look...
really creepy about following Tom Holland's
find a
personal
weak
life and,
Wait
like,
here.
counting his fucking chest hairs.
Everybody already knows that that Jeremy Renner is like one of the 5 conservatives in Hollywood. We don't care.
Gonna need a lift.
I don't even like him personally. I don't care.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I think
I'm just like tired of hearing about him because they're so fixated on him, and it's weird. It's like it's. Again,
I
it's
also
that thing,
think he
like,
has a
why do you
laughably
spend so
bad
much
music
energy on
career.
Something you hate.
I found a path. Checking it out.
I think he also has a laughably bad music career, but like, so what?
Plastic People Productions ask, was the Spidey Stan account in your Far From Home video real, or did you shop it? Actually, Scott edited that video. He made that account as like a visual representation of a lot of the stuff that like I saw that was like irritating me. He didn't want to call anyone out specifically or get anyone harassed, so he made an account for that video to like echo opinions and like posts from other people that I did specifically call out, so that he could kind of use it as like a
straw man.
As a straw man, yeah. Because like, you know, you could edit that video a different way, or you do call attention to the people actually behaving like weirdos, and like I feel like that would just get them in trouble and get them like that would just make me worse than they are.
So here's a hot take. You know what my opinion about Mr. Alex Controversial MCU Opinion Haver is?
What?
I think that all the people who are pissed off at him at Twitter are one of the reasons why he has the subscribers that he does. Is because
he's so successful because people hate him.
Exactly. What they don't realize
that's
is
the reason his channel has grown to like double my size in like a quarter of the time.
They're marketing him for him.
They're making him more successful by like focusing on it. So much.
They're doing the marketing for him.
Exactly, because every time someone goes and writes a long-ass Twitter thread about why he's a prick, then everyone's gonna go watch his video and then go, hey, this guy actually has some good opinions, or maybe this guy's pretty entertaining, and then they'll subscribe. They're giving him so much free advertising, and I don't think they realize that like.
And this is why I've started thinking about maybe selling out by making videos about my controversial MCU opinions. Maybe they'll be angry at me too.
You never know, man. I think that would be cool, and if it works for you the same way it worked for him, that would be awesome. I don't get jealous of my friends succeeding. I think it's cool. I sometimes wish I had that many views and subscribers, not really because I want the glory, but because I want it to be easier to pay my...
You want the monies.
I would like to be able to like order a pizza and not go, is this gonna ruin my life temporarily from ordering this pizza? Is it gonna be that bad? You know? But like, I'll get there eventually. I just gotta keep making videos. Eventually, you know, every once in a while I'll have one like catches people's attention. Like that Miles Morales video or the Arkham Knight videos. Those all did really, really well. I don't know, I don't think I have like super controversial opinions all the time. Like, usually my opinions on things are pretty mild because I don't take this shit nearly as seriously as I think most people do. Like, yes, I think the MCU is deeply flawed and has some like weird problems that bug me, but I'm not like gonna lose sleep over it. And like, I have things in my life that I care about way more than like, oh, they make Spider-Man not good in those movies, or they make every character except Spider-Man talk like Spider-Man because, you know, it's easier to do jokey characters than actual character development. You can make them likable by just making them wisecrack. Now you don't have to actually write them. You just make them sarcastic and all the work is done.
This is good advice. Thanks for sharing it.
Heist, over here. Give me a lesson.
Did you ever read the alien-esque horror comic from Garth Ennis, Caliban? I thought it was pretty neat. I have not even heard of that. I did not know that he did a comic. Especially a sci-fi horror. I want to check that out. I think I'm gonna go to the fucking store and try to buy that tomorrow.
Oh, this is a cool little flashback. We got a little alien ship here.
Yeah, you're playing as the guy that...
yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's cool.
To in the cell.
Yeah.
This is a really cool way to include this location. And what's even neater is, like, you find Ripley's crew's, like, old junk laying around. Like, you find their boxes and climbing gear that were already in there. You're like, I wonder who left this here.
So you want to talk a little bit about Alien for a second?
Sure.
So
Alien is a really cool franchise.
I want to talk. I want to talk about the.
Not very good.
No, I want to talk about the prequels for a second. What did you think about Prometheus and Alien Covenant?
I don't hate them, but I kind of would be okay if they didn't exist.
I'm just really interested by the way they try to use the alien, because Ridley Scott is a very, shall we say, interesting filmmaker.
Yeah.
He decided to make a biblical epic, you know, where all the Egyptian characters were white, but it was all about what if Abraham was like a crazy weirdo and like what if what if the Egyptians were the people that you were supposed to like sympathize with, and like he has really weird and sometimes interesting and sometimes good ideas, and yeah. I find myself really interested by how he tries to recontextualize the Alien universe to do very different themes.
That's the thing, is because those movies are not just like nostalgia baiting. Hey, remember Aliens? Like,
which is, of course, what the reboots will be once Disney gets their hands on them, which I'm sure is going to happen.
Here's Alien again, which is like
it's going to be Halloween 2018, but aliens.
Exactly. It's going to be Ripley is now like an 85-year-old woman who has to fight the alien, and like she has a bunch of kids who are like the next generation fighting hero, and like.
But Ridley Scott tries to like he has this weird sort of like pseudo-religious philosophical thing that he wants to do with the Alien movies, where he wants to talk about like creation and God and like origins of humanity and like. What if the people who created us don't like us? And all these really weird, interesting things.
Yeah, those are like big, heady topics, but he's just packaging them in his horror movie. It's kind of like what I was talking about with Soma. Even though I think Soma did it better, is it's like, well, it's not marketing itself on having these themes. They're just things that are in there, and it's marketing itself as a horror movie.
The problem with Prometheus and to a greater extent Alien Covenant is that
it's just that like the execution is very flawed.
Well, it keeps interrupting the interesting themes to remind us that we're watching a survival horror alien style movie, and it's like it's especially jarring in Prometheus, where there's like this really slow methodical build up, and then all of a sudden the bodies start hitting the floor.
What is it?
Yeah. Like, Covenant could just be about only the Michael Fassbender robot guy.
Yeah.
And, like, not have any xenomorphs in it, and it probably would have been better. Like,
yeah.
It's weird how, like, the xenomorph was a detriment to that movie, because it felt like, here's a different movie about this robot that wants to become God, and then here's, like, featuring special guest cameo by this 80s monster from a different movie series. It felt like a crossover, right?
Yeah, and also it was kind of stupid because like you kept it's like it kept trying to end, and then like the alien showed up. It was just like all of this like stuff that kept happening, and was like, okay, but like, what's it about, and what's the focus? And that was the problem with those two movies. Really, well, at least from my point of view, they're very it's very interesting, and I don't know, I don't know if we're gonna have an alien-like movie again because of the environment we're in today, or if we're gonna have a filmmaker like Ridley Scott who can do the type of things that he's allowed to do because of the way things have changed. But either way, I find it refreshing that like we get these weird, pretentious, philosophical blockbusters like
yeah, because those are like really high budget movies.
The only
like, a really low budget kind of
because the only people who are working in that space right now are Denis Villeneuve and maybe kind of Chris Nolan, and that's it.
Is making like movies that are like really heady, philosophical, like deep,
non-franchise sci-fi
with a bajillion dollars.
Yeah, they're making non-Star Wars sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly. Like big mainstream non-Star Wars sci-fi.
Yeah, so like, I'm interested to see what Denis Villeneuve does with Dune. I'm very interested.
I'm really excited because like everything you've taught me about Dune makes me really curious to see how like the new one turns out. I haven't had a chance to read the book yet, or books is plural.
There's a lot of books. There's like 3 or 4 in the main series by the original author, and then there's like a bunch of expanded universe shit that his son wrote. And what they're doing right now is that they're splitting the first book, because the first book, it kind of has two major parts to it. They're splitting the first book into two movies, and the first movie will be the first half of the book. It'll be like an It thing.
I'm fine with that.
And then after that, they're also going to do a spin-off, like, prequel show for HBO Max.
And it's going to be attached to the movie?
It's going to come out later, but it's going to be in the same universe. And okay. I think...
You know what?
Here's what I'll say about it.
Works out, because this sounds like a big, ambitious plan. They're building a whole franchise.
I find it absolutely hilarious that Warner Brothers and AT&T are saying, like, okay, we're gonna build the next big, huge franchise out of fucking Dune. Like, one of the most incomprehensible, bizarre books you'll ever read. Like, that novel is so weird. But... let me talk about this for a second. Did you know that there is actually a connection between Alien and Dune?
Wait, what? Ooh,
yeah.
Really?
Okay, let me tell you what it is. Is that there was a guy in the 1970s, because the Dune book came out in the 1960s. There was this really bizarre art house filmmaker, a Chilean filmmaker, called Alejandro Jodorowsky, or Jodorowsky, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Ground, Davil.
What?
You gotta climb down the hole in the ground.
Alexander Jodorowsky, or Jodorowsky, I don't know. I'm bad at pronouncing things. He was going to adapt Dune in the 1970s, and he wrote this like huge 4-hour screenplay. It was going to be really elaborate, and like all the people that he assembled were the people who worked on like Star Wars and Alien, and they were like the background people, not like they were like the concept artists, like H.R. Geiger. He worked with H.R. Geiger, you know, the guy who came up with the designs for the alien and the alien suit. Like, he was originally recruited to work on Dune, but then like Hollywood was like, "Oh, look at all these people that Alejandro has come up with to do this movie, and like we should start using them." So like, it's the most influential movie that never got made.
So it had like everyone working on it, and then got kind of axed.
Yeah, it got axed because of like financing issues, and also because the director wanted to make this like 4-hour epic, and like the studio was like, "I don't know how we're gonna film that or fund that or be able to make it." Like,
oh, by the way, Cyborg Diego. He says also if he makes another movie, Alex Garland, because he did Ex Machina and Annihilation.
But
they're both kind of low budget.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about mainstream.
Called Devs. That's really like it's a TV show that I'm not even sure what network it aired on, because I watched it on Hulu.
It aired on FX.
Okay, on FX. If you haven't seen Devs, check it out, because that's very on brand for him. Is really dark, philosophical, creepy, uncomfortable sci-fi.
Yeah, I think that Alex Garland isn't mainstream enough to count.
Yeah, because like Ex Machina and Annihilation, while like they're big among nerds like us,
they're cult classics.
They're cult classics. They're very low budget.
Listen,
like,
if you release a movie on A24, you're not a mainstream filmmaker.
But yeah, Devs was pretty cool. It's about some scientists who build a machine that can simulate anything, basically, and they start using it to try and see the future. And then a lot of really fucked up stuff happens after that.
Plan B, set it up.
Yeah.
What's happening? I want in.
Okay.
But I'm just really interested to see what happens with Dune. I'm glad that Denis Villeneuve is doing what he's doing, because there's nobody else who's doing that right now.
Yeah, and you know,
he's really carved himself.
That like Blade Runner was like a box office bomb, but
well,
I'm so glad Blade Runner 2049 exists.
Well,
it's so good.
Yep. There's nobody else really making prestige sci-fi right now. It's kind of like he's found his one-man industry, and that's it.
Yeah, would be excited to see Christopher Nolan get more into that kind of stuff.
I mean,
'cause,
that's
like,
what Tenet is looking like it's gonna do. Because
like,
he's
the stuff that he does is usually kind of like it's not really like true sci-fi. It's like really like
yeah, it's like
it's really
art house
what's the
stuff
word?
with 2 sci-fi elements in it.
Yeah, it's like more more grounded, but with like a sci-fi twist to it.
But then again, when he made a full-on sci-fi movie, Interstellar, that wasn't very good.
I don't know. I liked it, but like
I didn't.
I was aware that it wasn't really a sci-fi movie so much as it was just kind of like an adventure movie with sci-fi themes.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of a lot of Chris Nolan movies. That's my other unpopular opinion.
I'm like
for the
aware of
day.
a lot of his parlor tricks as a director to make his stuff seem a little bit more philosophical and heady and intelligent than it probably is.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm being talked down to when I watch a Chris Nolan movie. It doesn't feel like he trusts his audience as being smart enough to understand what he's trying to do. It always feels like he's trying to. It feels like I'm being lectured to.
Well, I mean that's why in like fucking Dark Knight, everyone is stating the theme of the movie repeatedly. Like they're just saying it out loud, and then everyone goes, "Wow, this movie's so deep and philosophical." It's like
I'm not saying he's a bad filmmaker.
The characters are verbally saying it.
Although I will say, I've heard that that's
don't tell.
That might be why a lot of people like Dunkirk as much as it is, because it entirely avoids that as much, because it's all just about like more of like an
here's
experience.
The room, by the way, you're in it now.
Yeah. So it turns out I could do this after I
I was misremembering the order. I haven't seen Dunkirk yet. Is it good?
I haven't, but I know enough about it to describe it.
Okay.
Also, I like how like the windows aren't like just like pre-rendered. It looks like almost like a matte painting that it would like if this were green screened.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty
right?
cool.
It looks kind of flat in a specific way.
It looks in a movie way.
Yeah.
You're getting old, Luke. You can't do this forever. And what are you going to do when Sevastopol closes? You have my number.
Cyborg Diego, what are you? He says, "Don't the comics do that already?" What are you referring to? Like Batman comics, where Batman's constantly stating the theme of why he's Batman and why it's cool that he's Batman and why it's deep that he's Batman. I don't.
Why he's the goddamn
maybe some of
Batman?
them probably do, but like not all of the ones I've read.
Why he's the goddamn Batman?
Why he's the goddamn Batman? What are you, dense? Are you retarded or something? I'm the goddamn Batman. This is my goddamn Batmobile. I've taken enough crap over naming my car the goddamn Batmobile, so I'll call it whatever the hell I goddamn please, because I'm the goddamn Batman, goddammit.
What?
Exactly. Frank Miller went insane.
I mean, he's basically a quasi-fascist at this point.
I feel like his writing was a lot more nuanced before his health started taking a little bit of a dip, and now he's like, I feel like as he's deteriorated physically, he's just gotten a little bit more crazy and like mean-spirited in his opinions.
He's become the comic book writer version of OK Boomer.
Yeah. Y'all remember when we saw the outline of Batman's dong? Asks Plastic People Productions. I do remember that. I've told this story a lot of times, but my friend Jacob was at the comic store the day they released the book with Batman's dick in it. And it's not even one panel. It's like it's like 4 or 5 panels across like 2 pages. You can see Batman's full dick. And Jacob was there at the store and didn't know about that yet because it hadn't blown up on the internet. So he just saw that and was like, I don't feel like getting a Batman book today. So he just like walked by it. And then he's like kicking himself for it because now before they reprinted it and like censored out the nudity, the original version of that with Batman's schlong in it is now like a big collector's item, and it's like super rare, and he wishes he had gotten it.
So, like, where do I go to find the thing now?
Look at your map.
It's not helping.
Well, let me see.
No.
Maybe I can make heads or tails of it.
I got it. I got what I was supposed to do.
You take the flamethrower.
Let's
Oh,
hope this
God.
thing works.
It's an animal. Animals
What?
are afraid of fire.
I hope you're right.
Throme Flare.
The flamethrower. Yeah.
Can I burn him?
Can you burn who?
The marshals.
I don't know. I wouldn't try it. I feel like you might get like a game over. I mean, you can do it for LP funsies. Go ahead.
Here,
Fucking
I'm gonna
set that guy on fire.
I'm gonna
He's the
save
human
my
antagonist.
game and then do it.
Yeah, save your game, then go fucking kill that guy. It says hostiles nearby in this like safe room. I don't know why. I think that's to imply that the alien is just like 10 feet away at all times.
Let's go.
And
Let's
just
do it.
not
Let's.
fighting you with
3, 2, 1. Burn him. Yes. Don't. He gave me a game over screen.
You know what's funny is that guy's. Can I spoil something?
Do it.
Well, it's kind of already been spoiled because of things that he does throughout the game. But that guy's an asshole who's willing to sacrifice you to kill the alien, and he attempts to do that like 3 or 4 times. So like, you'd probably have an easier time with the rest of this game if you could canonically just kill him right now, because then he'd stop undermining you and using you with bait and shit. Cyborg Diego asks, also, I got another question. Did either of you read Garth's new horror comic, A Walk Through Hell? It's like Silent Hill mixed with Dave Fisher, and I love it. I haven't read that either. I haven't been reading comics very much this year. I've just been too busy and stressed out to sit down and, like, really read anything. I have so many books stacked up on my shelf, like, that I bought, like, last year that I still haven't read yet. I think the last book that I sat down and like read all the way through was like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and then I got that on hardcover.
Yes.
Nice.
David, it's been about 2 hours. Am I a bad guy for going to the bathroom right now?
All we can do now is kill that fucker.
As long as you leave your headphones on so you can hear me, criticizing you.
My headphones are off right now because they're charging. So, you know, I'll turn them on. They should be charged up now, so I'll turn them on, then go wear them as I go to the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll listen to you just complain about me. Just like turn into a full-on Q&A to chat.
Exactly. So, chat, ask any embarrassing questions you've always wanted to know about Xavier, and I will answer them while he's in the bathroom. And he'll be able to listen.
Say something?
Say something?
I didn't hear that either. Hang on.
Say something.
Okay, now I think it'll work. Okay,
say something. Say something.
Hello, I'm on my way back. I'll just a second.
Shock552 asks, is Xavier a nerd? No, he's a dweeb. Get the difference, man. Like, one is cool and the other is not. And I'm not going to say which one is which. I'm just going to leave it open to you to interpret what I'm saying. Aiden Rodriguez says, no. Well, that's just disappointing, man. Have some fun, play along. Bombastic AR asks, is Xavier a top or a bottom? I don't know from first-hand experience, but I would imagine he would be a... Neither, because he doesn't have any sex. Cyborg Diego, is Xavier secretly in love with you? Who isn't? That's the more obvious answer. And the answer to that is obviously, of course. So, there you go. What else? Any other questions? Are you secretly in love with Xavier? No, of course not. He's not my type. SciMed Tower, Engineering Decks. Where am I going? Rotation. Service offline. SciMed Tower. Where am I going? Okay, I'm gonna go that way. Are you both furries? Xavier is. He has multiple fursuits in his closet. I am not right now, although I will neither confirm nor deny the past or the future. Is the gamer meme dead? He is not dead as long as he lives inside all of our hearts. Is Xavier actually in a relationship with Anna, or is he just saying that to brag? Well, I can say that they are actually in a relationship. Whether or not that relationship is just a beard or not, I cannot confirm nor deny. Oh no, explosions and fire. I am dead now. No, the meme is explicitly not dead.
This is not a drill. Do not panic.
Oh, good. I got rid of the robot man. Okay, oof. This is very dangerous and not good. What's happening? This is scary. Oh no! Press in case of fire! Is Xavier a brony? That's an interesting question. I never thought about that. Can Xavier beat David in arm wrestling? I don't know. I've never tried. He says he could if he wanted to, but, you know... Can he really?
I just don't feel like it right now. Hello, I'm back. I've returned.
Is Xavier actually a Spider-Man fan?
No, I just milk Spider-Man for views. I've never even read a Spider-Man comic. I fucking hate that character. Batman all the way.
You're a DC fan? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, I'm actually... Fuck Marvel, bro. DC Comics is where it's at. Zack Snyder is a true visionary.
Oh fuck! We're at the room again! No!
You're back here! Hey, at least you know what? You can do the fucking noisemaker thing this time and just kill those bitches. You could just get the alien to eat all of them.
Did something back there just explode?
It's the least of your problems. The creature's nearby.
You heard the lady. Let's go.
Oh, she's on. He's on our side. They're on our side. We can trust him. Does Xavier ever talk about anything that isn't lame Spider-Man stuff? Like Daredevil? No. He always talks about Spider-Man. Always. He never talks about anything else. What does it take to be a true gamer? Heated gamer moments. Also, you must hate all feminists, SJWs, and you must be a Nazi. Otherwise, you're not a true gamer.
If you see a woman on the street, you have to just recoil in disgust immediately, or else you're not a gamer.
Exactly.
If you've ever had sex with a woman, you've lost your status as a gamer.
Adrian is okay, says, howdy. Is Wolverine a furry? Who isn't?
Name one person who isn't a furry, I dare you. Exactly.
There you go. There's your answer.
My favorite Marvel character is Asbestos Lady. Yeah.
Who's Asbestos Lady again?
I have no fucking... Probably someone who fought Human Torch, if I were to hazard a guess. Did you just get shot?
No.
Xavier, do you think Troy Baker teasing playing Daredevil in a game means anything, or is he just messing with us?
How are we gonna seal it in?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have an inside source, a little bit, a guy who I know who tells me some industry things from time to time, and usually he's right. He told me Nicolas Cage was playing Spider-Man Noir, and like, what was his name? The guy who plays Spider-Ham. He told me
John Mulaney.
Yeah, he told me John Mulaney was playing Spider-Ham. He told me about that casting choice like 5 months before it was actually announced. So I know this guy is a reliable source, at least based on those two. And he told me a long ass time ago that if another Marvel character is going to get a game anytime soon, they're leaning really heavily on it being Daredevil, and it would most likely be like either developed by Naughty Dog or Sucker Punch, one of those two. And I don't feel bad talking about this because he told me this like 3 years ago, and I feel like by this point it's okay to say it, especially since, you know, people in the industry are teasing it now too. So I think there is a Daredevil game on the horizon because I trust that guy's advice and opinions on these things because, you know, he's got his ears to the right streets. I don't want Troy Baker to be the voice because I'm so tired of him being the voice of every main character in every PlayStation exclusive game, or at least a character in every PlayStation game. Or I just want other voice actors to do things. There's other voice actors than Troy Baker and Nolan North, alright? There's so many other people who could be a good Daredevil. It doesn't need to just be them.
All two of them.
Like, I get it. They're like, you know, they're famous. They're the Brad Pitt and like fucking, I don't know, the Chris Evans of voice acting. You know, just big Hollywood actor man, right?
Chris Pratt and Brad Evans.
Yeah, there you go. Chris Pratt. Like, you know, someone who you can attach them to a project, and that's enough to sell people on it, because they'll go, oh, I like this actor. I would like to see this actor in this thing. You know, like, they're that big in the voice acting industry. I get that. But they don't need to be every fucking character. And, like, I know a lot of it is also, like, they cast these big AAA, like, story games based on who can do motion capture well, because they can apparently, those two guys can motion capture act pretty good, but like other people are capable of doing that. Just cast anyone else. I'm so tired of hearing Troy Baker's voice out of the mouth of every white guy.
There are other white guys. Hashtag not all white guys.
You know what? Maybe the voice acting industry does need some more fucking diversity, because every white guy is Troy Baker, and like every black woman is Cree Summer, and every white woman is Tara Strong, as well as every small child.
What?
Anyway, yeah, I would be really down for a Daredevil game. I would like someone else to do the voice, because I mean he's already Batman and like Bruce Banner in the Avengers game, and he's Taskmaster in Spider-Man, and he's Delson Rowe in Infamous, and he's the Joker in other games, and he's like also the Arkham Knight, and like also Dick Grayson once, I think. No, Tim Drake. Like, he voices every fucking comic book character. Come on! He was also Loki for a long time. Like, he's everywhere. Just give me something else. I want to hear another Marvel character have a different voice. Anyway, David, are you aware of what your goal is in this section? I think that's a non-hostile robot, because he's kind of looking directly at you. Your goal is to go into this big-ass stairwell area, and then just, like, close off all the doors surrounding it, until eventually you've, like, essentially, like, locked the alien in one room and it can't get out. Because, like, the vents for that particular area are all interconnected. So you can just trap the thing in one spot and it won't be able to get out no more. We're building a cage around the alien.
John Alien.
Cyborg Diego asks, who plays Nazi Punisher Man in Wolfenstein? The guy who's the Punisher but for Nazis? I don't know who BJ Blazkowicz is. I'm gonna look that up.
You mean you mean John Doom guy?
Voice? Yes, John Doom guy. Voice actor. Brian Bloom, I think. I haven't even heard of that guy. Or who's Peter Jessup?
Who are these people?
They're voice actors.
What do they voice act in?
Oh, Brian Bloom played Captain America in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's cool. He was a good voice for that. On the flip side, I feel like Capcom is going out of its way to not cast industry voice actors as, like, Resident Evil characters anymore. They're specifically finding, like, just, like, you know, really kind of no-names to portray these characters, because I think they want you to just, like...
I wonder if they're doing that
character's that character.
To save money.
It might be to save money, but at the same time, I think it, like, kind of works, because, like, you know, the guy who plays Jack Baker in Resident Evil 7, that guy is, like, just some no-name background actor in TV stuff, but he did such a good job as that character. And the fact that he's not, like, a voice actor who's, like, done stuff like this before, like, I'm not getting that Drake Bell as Spider-Man effect, where it's just like, or like Nolan North as Iron Man. Like, I just, that character is Jack Baker. That it is not any voice actor. It's not any other character. It's like, it's not having any kind of cross-contamination in my mind.
I prefer Nolan South.
Nolan South? Yeah. I prefer Nolan East. No one likes Nolan West, though. Nolan West is a dick. But, yeah, like, I kind of like the decision, because, like, you know, the new Jill voice actor, like, I don't see or hear anyone else in that character. It's just, yeah, that's Jill, you know? So, like, getting
Aiden Rodriguez says Solon South.
Solon South?
That's his twin.
His evil twin. I would get under that desk soon so that the alien doesn't eat your butt. Not in a fun way. It'll be like, rah, 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 and you'll be like, oh, my ass! You know?
But I like my ass.
I'm, like, ambivalent towards it. I don't care.
I want to keep it. I'm not talking about in, like, that way. I'm talking about in the I like having my body intact kind of way.
But I do wish that they kept the original Chris Redfield voice actor from, like, 5, 6, and all those animated movies. Roger Craig Smith. Because, like, when I think of Chris Redfield, that's the voice I imagine, because that was, like, the first time... Like, that guy's a voice acting guy, though. Like, he also played Batman in Arkham Origins, if you don't remember, David.
I don't remember because I didn't care.
That guy also voices Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think he's great as, like, all of his characters except Sonic. His voice is too deep for Sonic. But, yeah, I wish that guy was still Chris Redfield, though. Because, like...
I know a guy who should be... I know a guy who's pretty good who should be the voice for Sonic.
The guy who did the movie voice?
You, idiot.
Oh. 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 You know? You know what I'm saying, bro? Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Do you need my help navigating through here, or are you good?
I'm good for right now. I'm just avoiding the alien right now, okay?
Keep avoidalating the aliens.
So...
I don't know if you saw, but I was trying to tell you that Brian Bloom was Taskmaster in Spidey PS4, not Troy. Oh, really? It sounded like, Troy Baker. That's kind of crazy, actually.
Ya boy... Hey, what up? It's your boy, Troy Baker.
Troy Baker, about to bake some Troys in me. He's also played Daredevil before, in what? I always hear the voice from the Spider-Man 94 cartoon. That voice was pretty good. Troy Baker wasn't in Spider-Man PS4. That is news to me. There were so many characters in that game that I thought were him. How you doing there on your alien trip, Davil?
I'm triggered the...
Supply storage locked down.
I did the second part of the lockdown, so now I'm hiding in the tunnel, so alien doesn't get me.
It's the worst feeling is when he fucking climbs into that tunnel after you while you're just kind of like, you know, you think you're safe in there, and then you just hear the sound of his, like, numerous bones clattering against the metal, and then you're just like, ah, shit, oh god. Because he crawls through those tunnels so fast compared to you. Like, you're going at this snail's pace, and he just zooms through them, and it's like it's the most nerve-wracking thing.
So what you're saying is that he's a zoomer?
No, he's a doomer.
Oh no, not a doomer!
This is the alien with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth and a hoodie and a on, and he just looks all sad, and he's got like 5 o'clock shadow.
He's like, the world's gonna end, man. What does it even matter, bruh?
I don't understand the point of even killing humans. It's like, they just kill themselves already.
Global warming's just gonna, like... Global warming's just, like, your opinion, man.
Everyone's just gonna die anyway. Why do I even need to kill humans?
Why do I...
pointless, bro.
Why do I even need to get in a fuel-efficient car? Like, whatever, dude. Like, the economy's, like, consumption is unsustainable anyway, so, like, there's no real point in like even trying.
You can't
to
fix anything. It's all broken. And the aliens just saying this is like Ellen Ripley cowers in a corner crying.
Yeah.
She's covered in sweat. And it's like, there's just drool is flapping out of its mouth constantly as it's saying these things. I like this character. This is our new character, is Doomer Alien.
Yeah, Doomer Alien. Let's do some more improv on him. So like, Doomer Alien, he just scares people into cynicism. That's his character.
He just shows up and everyone's like shitting their pants thinking this alien's about to like eat them alive, and then he just depresses them a lot by just being just a bore.
He's like, I know you could like, I mean we could like, you know, try and solve our problems, but like we're all gonna die anyways. Like, even if we solve problems, life is gonna be objectively worse for the next generation, you know? Like, because of all the stuff that we've done, so like, what's the point even?
and then someone's just listening to this, just like, their face goes from fear to just like, you see the bags forming under their eyes, and they just kind of like start, just like, they just kind of slump over and their body goes all limp.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're like, wow, that's really depressing. I guess you're right. There really is no point to anything. And he goes, glad you see it my way. And then he bites them in the face and kills them.
Yes, I have been in our transmission
He lulls them into a false sense of security by, like, making them think he's just a depressing asshole. Then he'll murder them.
It's like, you know, like, I mean, you know, we could try and make just, like, make the, so, like, more people could, like, have good jobs, but, like, all work is, like, wage theft anyways, so, like...
What's the point of being nice to girls? They're not gonna date me no matter what I do.
What's this? Yeah, so is he gonna be another incel, too?
He's, like, a really passive one. Like, the gamer is aggressive, but, like, Doomer Alien is just, like, just bored.
It's
just like, he tries to
He's a MGTOW, that's what he is. Do you know what that is?
A what?
MGTOW. It's like men, it's like associated with the incel groups, but it's like, men going their own way. And, like, the whole idea is that, like, they're, like, a bunch of guys who, like, accept that, you know, women are, like, you know, they're here to screw everybody over, and, like, feminism is a lie just to allowing them to do it, but they're just like, fuck them, I'm just gonna, you know, be celibate and, like, be a monk or whatever. And he's one of those.
So, I like to think that he's just bad at everything, and then he just uses the apathy to justify it.
That's a good way to do it, too.
Like, you know, like imagine Doomer Alien is playing baseball, and then
also,
he's like, whatever, sports is pointless.
Somebody in the comments, Cyborg Jacques 552 in the chat was like, "Dude, bro, Predator."
Dude, bro, Predator versus the Doomer Alien.
Yes, they're like, ooh, they're friends. I want them to be friends.
Yeah, he's like, bro, check out my fucking skull collection. I've got like 60 of them.
He's like, bro, we should go out on the town together, meet some girls. And then the Doomer Alien's like...
We could slay some advanced alien races and some puss. Hell yeah! And he raises his hand to high-five him. And Doomer Alien just kind of looks down at his feet and is like, not in the mood for slaying puss today. I totally could have. I could if I wanted to, but I don't feel like it. Yeah, that's why.
Aiden says, "Dude, bro, Predator is just chilling with Arnold doing bodybuilding."
Oh shit, dude, bro, Predator is just super jacked and is just lifting weights with Arnold Schwarzenegger. and Doomer Alien is all skinny. He's like, I don't see what the point of lifting weights is. It's just like, you know, it's just gonna look good for other people, but like, I don't care about looking good. I'm fine being the way I am.
But he does. But the other thing is that Doomer Alien pays a lot of attention to the way he looks like. But he just tries to be like an. You know, he tries to be the e-boy.
Doomer Alien is an e-boy too.
Yes.
He pulls off his beanie and he's got like purple and pink hair that's like dyed on the fringes.
Mm-hmm. And he wears skinny jeans and he wears
he wears skinny jeans on
an
his
eyeliner,
alien legs.
An eyeliner.
Where does the eyeliner go?
Around his. He eyes around the empty sockets.
He just puts liner around the empty eye sockets with nothing in them.
Yes.
That's really unnerving. I don't like that. That makes me uncomfortable. That makes him creepier, actually.
And that's part of it, is that he tries to look creepy to unnerve people. He cares about his look, he just doesn't want to look conventional.
This character we've created is such a douchebag, and he's also like a xenomorph rape monster too.
And then I love how like listen.
The most likable thing about him is that he's a disgusting monster that eats people.
I want
it's his like most redeeming trait is that he's a terrible monster from space that kills people.
Ooh! Ripley is an e-girl, and like Alien keeps going after her, even though she's clearly not into it. And even though he pretends to be over girls, he still does it anyways.
And he doesn't like get angry or anything. He's just like, yeah, whatever, that's cool. It's not like I cared or anything. It's just like, whatever. You can do what you want. I can do what I want. You know, it's a free country. Well, it's not, but like, you know what I mean.
It's like free enough.
It's free enough. This guy's such a prick.
Trust me, I have a lot of experience in being one. I'm drawing on it right now.
Are you like pulling from like a bad phase in high school where you were like this?
I was never like this, but I could have been.
You skirted the line. You, touch the edges. So what if Dude Bro Predator is just like also not a scumbag to just offset the other character? Like he's actually like a really nice guy.
Yeah. But he's one of those.
He's like a jock, and he's like not very smart, but he's also like really like just like charismatic.
He's one of those guys who like likes everybody, so that's why he likes likes.
He's Doomer Alien's only friend.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Oh, we're making the Predator a good guy.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make the Predator just a nice guy. He's a dude bro, but he's like a cool dude bro. He's like cool to everybody. He's like, there's like a guy like that in our high school, I remember. You remember Justin?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a dude bro, but he was like nice to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Let's base him off that guy. That guy, like, could care fucking less about comic books, but he would still ask me about them because he knew I wouldn't want to talk about anything else, really.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant a lot. That guy was cool. We should all aspire to be more like that fucking guy. I remember him being really chill.
Mm-hmm. And then can you think of like an e-boy kind of equivalent sort of character in our high school who is kind of like a Doomer Alien?
I know one, but it's someone I knew personally, and we were kind of friends for a little bit, but then he was too much of an asshole and we stopped being friends.
Oh no, not him!
Yeah, remember that guy?
Was he the guy who ironically, as a joke, stopped talking to you?
He stopped talking to me as a joke. Like, someone made a joke that he hated me once, and he's like so weirdly dedicated to bits that he'll just like do that. Like even like Josh was friends with that guy, and was like, yeah, he did that to me for a year, and like Josh tries really hard to like be on good terms with everyone, so he like kind of like wriggled his way back into talking to that guy. But like I didn't care enough for that. I'm like, you know what? If he's gonna be like that petty, then fuck it. I'm not gonna be friends with someone who drops me as a person because he thinks it's funny. Like, why would I waste time on that?
Mm-hmm. So, like, let's go back to Doomer Alien.
Doomer Alien is at least a better guy than that guy who we still have not named. And Doomer Alien's an asshole.
Yeah, Doomer Alien. I love the dude bro e-boy bro relationship there. I feel like that's a fun relationship.
You don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a relationship kind of like that, but it's in a Spanish TV show, and it's not like a like a friendship relationship. It's more like a sort of a romantic relationship.
Oh.
Between like
guys?
Yeah, between like a e-boy and like a more like a dude bro type.
Yeah, I could see that. That's kind of an unconventional ship, but that's probably why people are interested in it. In it, you know.
But like, this is more of a friendship relationship, and I like that. It's a fun little relationship. Let's go back to Doomer Alien. What else does Doomer Alien do?
Diego asks, where does John Alien fit into all this?
John Alien is his dad.
Who's John Alien? Oh, isn't John Alien the guy who kills aliens? Is he just like some...
No,
I forgot what John Alien
I called
was.
John... The xenomorph is John Alien.
I'm John Alien.
And I'm saying that the xenomorph is this guy's dad. Doomer Alien's dad.
I think I was making a bit like that, like every first-person shooter main character.
Yeah, I know you were doing that, but I just as an unrelated thing just called the xenomorph John Alien.
I love the idea of that in Halo you play as a character named John Halo. His name is not Halo, but his first name is John.
So Bombastic AR says, Dude Bro Predator is secretly gay, but everyone thinks he has a girlfriend, and everyone thinks Doomer Alien is gay, but he's straight. I like that. That's good. That's good. And Dude Bro, and maybe Dude Bro Predator has like a really, really, really pathetic one-sided crush on Doomer Alien.
Schwarzenegger? No, Danny Glover.
And he said, Jog552 says, John Alien is the well-meaning father that doesn't understand his son. That's it. That's perfect.
I wish the kid wasn't such a downer all the time, but I just don't know how to talk to him. He just fucking just makes me upset.
He's constantly stressed out by trying to relate to his son. And Ripley yeah. Ripley is like his one girl, like friend who is a girl type. No, yeah. Ripley is a friend, but like, he's clearly into her, as we said earlier.
And she's not into his weird ass, but she's like cool enough to hang out with him.
Yeah. She likes him enough as a friend to put up with it.
What? He's a space alien that eats people.
Yes, but he's wearing skinny jeans.
That's worse than being a space alien.
And eyeliner.
And again, he still has a like a 5 o'clock shadow, bags under his eyes, and a fucking cigarette hanging out of his tiny mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The inside mouth has the cigarette, the outside mouth doesn't.
So Aiden Rodriguez says, imagine naming your son Doomer. What if he didn't? It's just like a nickname that he chose for himself. I call myself Doomer because I'm smart enough to realize that like There's no point, man.
And ironically, like I'm like you know I'm trying to subvert the trope. Yeah, I'm being ironic.
I'm being ironic, so that means you can't make fun of me.
I love the type of guy who does something ironic, but then there's like they've committed so much to it that it's no longer ironic anymore. That type of person is just such an asshole. Like the guy who says like racist stuff as a joke so much that eventually he starts actually looking at like black people in like a really questionable way. Oh shit! I just remembered. I know a guy like that. I used to have a friend who just would make so many racist jokes that eventually he kind of like started believing them. That guy was a fucking weirdo.
You've known all kinds of people, haven't you?
I've known a lot of shitty people. I don't know. I guess I just have, like, kind of weird bad luck. Like, I feel like I attract a lot of good people, but, like, you know, the bad ones are really bad, too, to kind of offset it.
Oh no, I died. Oh, Bombastic AR says Ripley agrees to be Doomer's high school date dance because she's nice. Or maybe, ooh, I have a better idea. Because she's a closeted lesbian.
Man, everything's crazy around here. There's a lot going on with this.
Mm-hmm. This is important lore, okay?
There's so much, this is so deep. There's so much lore.
Oh, look! Look at this! There's just this control panel floating in the middle of nothing.
Hell yeah, go press whatever button that is. Dude, bro, Predator regrets killing his workout buddies in the Amazon rainforest. He was like lifting weights with them, but then also was like, damn, those guys got some strong fucking spines.
No, he was like, here's what he did. He wanted them to spot him, but they weren't strong enough, so like they broke their backs trying to spot him.
And he decided it was better to just take them as trophies.
Yeah.
He's still a nice guy, but you know what? The families of those soldiers still agree that he's a nice guy.
Yeah, but Dude Bro Predator, some people think he's a murderer because he's just so oblivious that people just end up dying around him constantly.
So how does his whole stealth thing factor into this?
He's a hunter part-time. Like he just has like a really good camo vest that he likes to go on hunting trips with.
So, wait, so it's just a green camo vest?
Yes.
But
it's
like, I can't see him! I can't see him!
It's just that good of a camo vest that nobody can see him.
No, it's that's just how camo vests work, man. That's in real life.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
Remember when John Cena was a Marine? He just never took off his camo vest.
Oh shit.
That's why. That's how his wrestling career has proceeded. He just never took off the vest, and his powers have continued. You know what? Of all the memes that, like, I'm glad persisted, the whole you can't see him thing with John Cena, I think is, like, probably my favorite. Because that joke is, like, not annoying. It's, like, you can do clever things with it, and it's, like, not fucking irritating and, like, instantly dated. Like, it's just kind of it's just one of those things that's just kind of timeless. Of all the memes that, like, lasted and didn't just die after a week, I'm okay with that one. I think someone dropped a bunch of knives upstairs. What the hell's going on up there? Stop stuttering! Did you drop a knife? Was it a fork? Well, show me later. We're still streaming.
Well, show me later. We're still streaming.
I can't see. You can't just say I dropped this. I don't know what you... What? The what? Oh! You broke the blinds! So anyway, back to talking about the alien.
They said boom... Somebody in the chat said Boomer Terminator.
Oh no. Like all the old Terminators are just like... just have a lot of really outdated opinions.
I love it.
That's why they wanted to kill the Hispanic girl in Dark Fate. Oh boy.
No!
Oh god.
Now that is...
That's a spicy meatball.
The gamer despises Sex Machine Terminator. I
hope Dude Bro Predator and Doomer Alien, like, I hope someone draws that next.
That's a good one.
Who's the guy who drew the picture of the gamer? Because it was perfect. I hope that guy listens to these archives.
Yeah.
So I haven't like looked at your screen in quite a while. What do you do? Are you like dead yet, or have you? How many shirts are you wearing? Are you just quietly drinking your drink there and not answering me? Pay attention to me, bitch. I've been here for almost 3 hours. You better talk to me. I could have just played Resident Evil all day and told you to cancel. I took time out of my day to play this game with you and hang out with you, and you're just gonna not talk to me? Is that how it is? Am I that expendable to you? Fuck you. I don't want to be in your stream anymore.
Well, what else are you...
a different stream.
Who? Who?
I'll join William's stream. He's got a very beloved stream. He's number 3,792 on Twitch. Can RoboCop work into this? We'll wait another day for RoboCop.
Yeah,
RoboCop is his own thing. All right, we're not emotionally ready to handle the RoboCop conundrum.
Yeah.
Hey Xavier, did you or David see any of the movies written by Taylor Sheridan? I've only seen Sicario and Wind River. Those are great.
I saw Sicario and I didn't really care for it, and that's about it.
I haven't even heard of the other one. So
it's a Jeremy Renner movie, so that's why, because you wanted to cancel Jeremy Renner.
I don't want to cancel him. I just don't like him. And not even, like, for personal reasons. Like, I don't mean, like, I hate the guy. I mean, like, I just, like, I don't get excited when I hear Jeremy Renner's name.
Okay, boomer.
I guess I think that about, like all MCU actors. Like, if
did you know that,
Chris Evans is something I don't go, oh, Chris Evans, oh my god!
Hey, you remember how, Jeremy Renner was in Mission Impossible, was in some of the in the Mission Impossible movies, right? But he's just kind of like a supporting role. Did you know that they
completely forgotten that he was in those? I don't even remember that.
Well, they cast him in. They cast him in the fourth one because they didn't know if Tom Cruise was gonna. They thought he was gonna quit, so they were kind of lining him up as the replacement for Tom Cruise if Tom Cruise didn't play ball. And that was in the fourth one. And now, the director is going to shoot 7 and 8 back to back with Tom Cruise
Both with
in
Tom.
it. Yeah. So it's like...
I suppose that's cool. Good for him for being that dedicated to those, that he's still in all those.
But I also love how they tried to take the franchise away from him, and he's like, no, fuck you. This is mine. You can't make a movie without me.
That's the thing, is like, Mission Impossible is not the stunts or like the stories. It's specifically Tom Cruise. The character of Ethan Hunt is those movies. You know, like, you can have other people doing the Tom Cruise-y bullshit stunts. You can have another person playing the character Ethan Hunt. That specific combination of Cruise and that character, that's kind of what makes those movies.
It'd be like making a John Wick movie without Keanu Reeves.
Exactly. You could do it, but it just wouldn't have the same magic. It's not the right combination, you know? Like, it's just... No one else can see a different actor, or no one can see a different actor as that character. It's not the same.
Ooh woo.
Ooh woo, what's this? Notices bulge.
I'm so sorry for you.
Oh god, that hurt me. Okay, yeah, do you want to talk about Tom going to space for a Mission Impossible movie?
It's not a Mission Impossible movie, it's an unrelated movie.
Oh, I thought it was a Mission Impossible. Oh. You know what? Good for fucking him. I am excited to see that man go to space.
Why do you want him to go to space?
That's crazy. No one's done an action movie actually filmed in space before.
At one point they said they want the guy who was going to direct Rise of Skywalker before J.J. Abrams wanted to film a scene in space, but then he went to film Jurassic World 3.
Oh.
Because he was fired from that.
I haven't seen Jurassic World 2. Are any of those even worth
So,
anything?
Jurassic World 1 is complete fucking garbage. Jurassic World...
I don't mind it.
Jurassic World 2 is marginally better in that it's directed by a competent director. It's a Spanish director who directed a really good like supernatural thriller which is called, what was the name? It was called The Orphanage, or El Orfanato, and his name is J.A. Bayona. So after that, he directed Jurassic World, which is not a very... It's well put together from a direction perspective, which the other movie is not. The other movie is very messy direction-wise.
Jurassic World 2 you're talking about, right?
Yeah, Jurassic World 1, which is directed by the guy who... The original guy who's going to come and direct the third one, is bad, because it's badly directed, and it's also co-written by him, and he can't do either of those things very well. But at the second movie, at least it's only written by him, so like the story is crap, but it's at least a decently put together film.
Yeah. Neither, you know what, I asked you the other day if they were going to make another season of Hannibal, and like neither of us have followed up on looking that up. But I feel like if that was a thing, we would have heard about it.
Well,
the only place I've heard about that is my dad said he read an article in Fangoria about it, that they were trying to pull that off.
Yeah,
and Fangoria is like the horror magazine. Like, they've been around forever, and their sources are pretty strong and reputable.
It's Well, they wanted to do so. What happened with Hannibal was that it was canceled from the network because it didn't have high enough ratings. But then it was like a cult classic on streaming. But the reason they didn't do a reboot back then was because there was a rights issue, which was that beforehand Amazon had acquired the exclusive streaming rights to the show, but then
well, because it's on Netflix now.
But Netflix was the one interested in doing a continuation at the time. Now I don't know.
Because, like, if Netflix has the rights to stream the previous seasons, that must have mean that they paid something for it, right? So, you know, if it's on, I feel like that bodes well. That means something's going on, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that anymore. I think it's a little bit too.
Too soon to say.
No, it's too late.
Too late to do a continuation.
Yeah, I think that there was an opportunity when it could have happened, and it's passed by.
Why do you think that?
It's just been too many years.
Why does that matter? I mean, it's been like 5 years. Everyone looks the same.
Because the actors just move on to other things, and like the creative team just moves on, and it's just sort of an instinct thing.
It's kind of like how Spectacular Spider-Man really just can't come back because like everyone who was working on that is now on other stuff.
Exactly.
Like none of the cast would really have the time for it because they're all on other TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Greg Weisman and Victor Cook and all those guys, they're producing different shows.
Mm-hmm.
So like in the case of Hannibal, like Mads Mikkelsen is like a way bigger name now. You know, Hannibal kind of made him into like a household name, I would say. And like he's just doing so much other stuff now that his schedule's probably pretty full. But like on top of that, like, you know, what Brian Fuller, the director or the creator of the show and showrunner, what's he doing? Isn't he on a bunch of other stuff? Hello?
What?
Are you there?
Am I here? No. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
So basically what I think of the rumors is that it's basically just a bunch of, like, the actors involving saying, you know, it'd be really great to do a continuation of it.
Okay. Because that's what my dad said, is that everyone expressed interest in it, but it wasn't, like, confirmed.
Exactly. That's my thought about it, is that it's not something that's actually gonna realistically happen. It's just something that when these actors and when these creatives are in interviews talking about their other stuff that they're actually working on, they're like, oh yeah, you did Hannibal. Would you like to do more of that? And they say, sure, that would be cool. And then fanboy magazines go, confirmed?
Cyborg Diego says Steve Lightfoot needs work after Punisher. You know who needs fucking work is Deborah Ann Wool. After Daredevil ended, she's not been in anything, to the point that she was in an interview, like, crying her eyes out, going, I just cannot find work, no one will hire me. Like, she's so good in that show. She's such a good actress, and I totally can see her, like, moving on to bigger and better things. Like, I think that's a great show to, like, get her start and, like, you know, become a big Hollywood lady. But, like, she's been in, like, she was in that fucking Escape Room movie, and that was it. Remember Escape Room? Remember that? It was about an escape room, but it was real. Are you still playing the game, even? I'm just staring at the screen, and it's just, like, completely frozen solid still. Like, even your face cam, you're not moving. You're just stuck there. What's happening? What is he doing? What the fuck? David, what's wrong? David, are you there? Can you hear me? David! David! Ah! No!
Good to see a friendly face.
It's Doomer David?
Oh no!
What's the point of continuing the stream? Only 9 people are watching.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Ooh woo.
Aw. F in the chat for David. Everyone in the chat got really concerned when you just froze solid for like a minute and a half. But they could see you breathing and stuff. So, like, we were worried you were having like a mental breakdown.
Don't worry, I have those every other week.
Aw. I dread going to bed because every time I lay down is when the anxiety is at its worst.
Doomer Alien goes, why bother even going to bed, man? Been going to bed. Your fears go with
Just
you,
creep
man.
in. Might as well just stay awake forever. And he's got like the giant black circles under his eyes,
which he accentuates with the eyeshadow.
It looks cool. It's part of who I am. It's my identity. Even though identity is like a pointless concept. This guy just can't figure out what the fuck he believes.
And he pretends that's an intellectual strength on his part.
If you don't commit to any one ideology, you don't have to be wrong ever. Do I support capitalism? Do I support communism? I don't know. Whichever one at the moment.
You know,
whichever one will get me a date.
Whichever one will get Ripley to date me.
She's still not into it.
Like I said, she's a lesbian.
Did she have a romance with a guy in any of those? Oh wait, no. Didn't she make out with Hicks for like 30 seconds once?
I know, but I'm talking about this version of.
I know. I'm talking about like actual Ripley. Like, is her sexuality addressed? Because like,
well, it was never. It was never a part of the story. Granted, I haven't seen Alien 3, so that might change things. But in Aliens, it's kind of like a, you know, him and her and Michael Bihn's character are like they're more like co-workers that get along, and there's like, it might happen eventually in another movie, but there's just no time for it in the story.
Yeah, because that one's more about her, like, you know, becoming a mother again.
Yeah, and it's also about, you know, I mean, the Marines, from a character perspective, the Marines are all about, like, let's survive, and, like, you know, what...
She's all about, like, survival isn't enough, we have to save something precious and innocent.
And like, and with, and their relationship is built upon their sort of mutual respect.
Yeah.
Because she sort of gains their respect by using the machines and all that stuff. And they're like, it's more mutual respect with something possible happen eventually after that.
I appreciate how they don't take her seriously at the beginning of the movie, but as it goes on, they just, like, look to her for all the answers. Like, I feel like a lesser movie would have made them skeptical of her forever, but, like, very quickly they're taking her advice after she's proven herself, like, once.
Yeah.
You know what I love in movies is when characters act, like, reasonable and, like, normal people. Like, you know, it's kind of like a middle-of-the-road movie. It's not, like, amazing. But I was watching this movie called Game Night with Anna the other day, and Anna says, there's a scene in this movie that makes it feel better than, like, 80% of movies I've watched. And I was like, okay, I want to watch that scene. And, okay, so the setup is that this guy has a brother who's, like, richer and, like, more successful than him and, like, really charismatic, and everyone loves him. And he's really jealous of his brother, and he just, like, he hates his brother a little bit and thinks he's kind of an asshole. And he tells his wife about it, and she's like, "Oh, you're just jealous. He's a great guy, right?" They hang out with him for 1 minute, right? Like just like this whole scene of the brother just kind of just shooting him down and embarrassing him and like making him look like an idiot and like flaunting all of his like successes in life. And then the scene that Anna was talking about was when the wife, instead of continuing the "wow, he's great," just goes, "Wow, you're right. He is an asshole who's ruining your life." And we were like, we have never seen this in a movie before, is a character that just like is convinced, and like the conflict is not them ignoring something obvious for a whole movie. And then the whole movie becomes this couple against the brother and not just the guy, while his wife goes, "Oh, you're just being silly and selfish." Because like every other movie does that. It always makes like the significant other like just a completely dumbfounded idiot who just can't see things right in front of him.
Or like gaslights the main character.
Exactly. Just constantly going like, "Oh, no, it's all in your head." Like, it was so refreshing to see one movie where that did not happen. And it like made that experience so much more enjoyable. Like, that like earned a lot of goodwill for what was an otherwise just kind of okay movie. Is just that like those characters were like doing the proper thing. That's another example of that. Characters not acting like
Us.
Oh yeah, Us. Yeah.
They call the police immediately, and then there's no help coming from the police.
Well, I think that might have to do with a little bit more than just.
It makes sense. Well, it makes sense within the story because, like this is like a thing that's happening on a wide scale, just beyond this one person. So, like, the police would be busy helping everybody else who is calling them at once. So, like, it makes sense that they have to deal with it on their own. And they call the police, and it's like they'll be there, but they're just not there soon enough to be any help. And then, of course, there's the scene where Ophelia call the police, fuck the police, and that's like a little wink and a nod, but like at the same time, they do act like people, like normal people.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, was there something like that in Get Out? I feel like in Get Out, You know what? I think it was cool is that his like comical friend character actually was useful in the plot instead of just like a joke. Like his goofy friend who's like kind of wisecracking through the whole movie actually like saved him in the end, and like believed him the whole time. He never doubted him.
But like
he never was like. The scary thing going on is, oh, you're just being crazy. They're just different, They're an eccentric family. Like it's no, he would immediately jump to the conclusion of they're going to steal your body.
Oh, come on! I have to repeat that all over again.
Yeah, you have to do that.
I don't wanna. I'm Doom or Alien, remember?
It is heavily implied that Venom is gay, and that's it's a little different. I don't dislike it. I mean, it's a little strange, but like, cool.
Where is it heavily implied?
Eddie calls the suit "my love" in one of the arcs, and they have like what is essentially a weird kind of semi-toxic relationship. And the suit is always characterized as being like it's asexual. It's a big slime monster, but it's always referred to and sexualized, characterized as if though it was a male. And like, yeah, there's a little bit of a sexual element to it. I guess I don't know. Like, I think that stuff is better for those characters when it's like implied, but like in the arc where they actually just full on say it felt a little too much, because like then Eddie was referring to the suit as if though it was like his boyfriend that was mean to him. And I always kind of like it more when, like, you don't humanize the suit too much and just treat it like a creepy space alien.
But we need
you know?
to write the fan fiction. There's fan fiction that needs to be written. So
yeah.
But so tell you what, I think it's been 3 hours roughly. I think I'm at a stopping point. I'm getting low on Steam, and I don't want to repeat that section again tonight. So we will resume this game in a week from today, and on Tuesday...
Hopefully William will be there this time.
Hopefully William will be there. And then on Tuesday, I will have another stream with another special guest, which will be completely unrelated to any of the stuff we're doing right now. So...
why didn't you tell me about this? You two-timing me? Am I not involved? You think I'm good enough to bring into this?
I already told you about this. You just forgot about it completely, you loser.
No, I know who it is.
How dare you! See you guys next week.
See you around, everyone. Thank you for hanging on. Love ya. Oh, I accidentally threw a grenade.